Come on now. We've got a game here. Oh, I don't know if it's a massive game, but we've got a game here, folks. Hey, guys, how you going? So, BKRsport, we are live as the St George Illawarra Dragons are going to be taking on the West Tigers in a round 18 clash that, look, I don't know is insanely impactful. Like, at the end of the day, the Tigers just simply need to win. But to be fair, both teams do need to win for completely opposite reasons. You know, the West Tigers, they're still technically in the hunt. They are still technically in the hunt for the top 8 right now, even though it is getting away from them, especially with the loss here. It would very much get away from them. But they are definitely still technically in the hunt. It's just that, unfortunately, their season has really started to fall away from the heights that we saw right at the very beginning when they're up there in the top 4. They're up there in the top 2 at one stage. Now they're down there in 12th position after the Storm received a bye, so they've now jumped above them. So the Tigers are in a really precarious position where they just simply need to win their games, and they have to hope for the best in regards to other results. Like, for example, today, they're going to need the Sharkies to lose the Broncos later on. Right? Otherwise, it's still just going to keep on moving and grooving away from them. And also, Manly against the Eels tomorrow is a very, very important one for them there. So the Tigers, ultimately, they just need to think about winning. They just need to win their games. And obviously, they're going up against a team today who, luckily for them, don't usually win games. They have only won the one game so far this season, so they haven't even made it a plural just yet. And obviously, they're in last position. You know, they're really, really struggling. The St George Illawarra Dragons, they are down there on 6 points, whilst the second worst team in the Parramatta Eels is there on 14 points. And the same thing goes to the Titans, and the Broncos are on 14 points. But ultimately, the Dragons season is obviously done. It really just comes down to now, can they find a way to get some wins on the board to try and make this wooden spoon battle an actual battle rather than just a solidified guarantee Dragons are getting the spoon this year, even though you'd pretty much just say it is what it is now. You'd probably just say it's already done. But the point of the matter is that if they can win a game here, they'll be on 2. They'll be a couple of games away from the opposition, and maybe we could see a bit of a roll going on. But obviously, you wouldn't expect that for St George because they have been having a really, really struggle season. But I also would not put them out of the equation here today. Now, I don't think that they're going to win here, St George, but I'm not willing to actually put them out of the conversation because they have been much better in recent weeks than they were at the beginning point of the season. Obviously, only losing closely to the Raiders the other week, and controversially too. But last week, losing closely to the Raiders. They lost in a very close game to the Knights, 22-20. They led the Sharks at halftime before the Sharks ran over the top of them in the end. Obviously, they beat the Broncos. They didn't get humiliated by the Warriors, and I don't think they really got humiliated by the Panthers as well. Their last humiliation really came back in round 10 against the Newcastle Knights, and now we're into round 18. So I've been a lot happier with what the Dragons have been doing recently, but that doesn't necessarily just mean that I'm now going to see them go and get a win, right? It doesn't necessarily mean now that the Dragons are... beautiful day here in Sydney. Beautiful day there at Cogra. The sunset looks amazing right now. But look, I am obviously going to tip the Tigers here. However, the Dragons are not completely out of it, is what I would say. But let's get into the 2-team lineups here. Let's do a bit of a preview for the game. Obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here. Obviously, I've had limited amount of sleep as we were up extremely late last night for me streaming the Australian game against the Egyptians and whatnot. Wow, by the way, Cape Verde going to extra time against Argentina. How good is that? But obviously, Argentina were able to knock them out in the end, and then Colombia got that 1-0 win. We were kind of predicting there. So that was awesome. We'll be on live for some FIFA World Cup games tonight. Definitely for the first game, which is Canada versus... Ooh, who is the first game here tonight? I think it's Canada versus Belgium or something, isn't it? No, not Canada, Belgium. Canada, Morocco. Gosh, that could be a blowout, bro. Oh my gosh, man. That could be a blowout Morocco's way. And then we've got Paraguay versus France. I'm going to be live for both of them. I will be live for both of them, even though that's going to send me all the way to 6 in the morning, and then we've got another 2 streams of the NRL tomorrow with Parramatta and Manly before they... What's the other game as well tomorrow? Parramatta and Manly. And who is the other game tomorrow? Knights and Dolphins, which is actually probably the best game of the weekend. Oh, but the Dolphins have a lot of players out with Origin. Well, Broncos Sharks could be spicy right after this. Broncos Sharks actually could end up being the game of the weekend because those two teams... The way they play is very opposite, but the Broncos have been absolutely awful to watch this year, and the Sharkies are a scam. You scam. Don't argue it. We've been having too many Sharks fans try to argue it lately. You are scam. You are scam. Cronulla Sharks are a scam. So they could easily scam us in regards to the fact that we expect them to win here today. They should win by a lot against the Broncos, but you were scam. Don't shoot the messenger, son. This is the official NRL ladder, and you can see the Sharkies are on scam. Come on now, gee whiz. But all right, let's get into the two-team lineups. Thumbs up, subscribe, let's do it. Dragons 17th, Tigers are in 11th. I actually think they're in 12th now, the bye. Yeah, they are in 12th because the Storm had the bye. And this is at Cogra, Jubilee Oval, St George venues, Jubilee Stadium in Cogra. For the Dragons, no changes whatsoever, no ins, no outs, no shake at all about. The fullback is Clint Gutherson, with the wingers being Setu 2 and Tyrell Sloan. Centers of Matty Fiane and Valentine Holmes. The 5'8" is Daniel Atkinson, with the halfback being Kyle Flanagan. And then you go to the front row forwards of Locko Jr., Pacific Tonga, and Toby Couchman. The number 9 is Damien Cook, who is the captain. Go to the back row, Dylan Egan and Hamish Stewart, with the 13 being Ryan Couchman. Interchange, Jacob Little, Luchan Leilua, Josh Kerr, Emre Gula, Jacob Halagahu, and Lycan King Tagia, with the coach being Dean Young. This Dragons team, like I said, they've been able to get some close results recently. Obviously, getting that win against the Brisbane Broncos up there at Suncorp Stadium back in round 13. It's been some close results, man, and they've at least got some positivity over these last few weeks, and they would be pretty upset about the controversy that surrounded that the try for the Raiders last week that ultimately took the game away from them. Now, at the time, I made a argument in relative defense, and I don't usually do this. You guys know that if I think something's wrong, I will obliterate the bunker. But I did make a call in terms of saying that there was no guaranteed evidence to suggest that the ball was knocked on and did go forward. However, they do typically call it. So I have to look at this showing the Cody Walker incident from last night. Guy's a clown. But they do typically call it. So I do think that they should have called it as a knock-on because consistency-wise, that's what they do. But I still stick by my guns in saying that there was no guaranteed evidence to suggest that it was knocked on because he actually did have to slightly come back for it and it looked like it could have been flat. But again, 99 times out of 100, they will call that as a knock-on. So it was very, very surprising for them to not call that. But look, overall, as a Dragons fan, you just can't be expecting anything right now. You've just got to be hoping for the best. You know, you just got to keep trying to come together as a fan base and come together as a club and just hope that obviously next year is a different year when you make you got all those signings that come in, like your Drink Waters and your Phil Samis and your Luke Metcalf and all the likes. So don't go into this game expecting a win. And I don't think you do. Don't think that I guess you could think that you can win for sure, but don't think that you're going to win because it's going to probably let you down. I feel like if you go in expecting a loss and you come away with a win, it's going to be an electric feeling, man. Again, you're still probably going to come last this year, but getting the 2 points and getting a win is still a fantastic feeling. I know how it feels. You know, I get emotional when the Titans will just get a random win and we're coming second last or we're coming in last. You know, so I completely understand the feelings. But this Dragons team still isn't that great. You know, they're still not going to be doing anything this season. If you are still watching the Dragons in 2026, then that means that you are a true fan. It does. Because you have no reason to follow this team right now. You have no reason to actually put yourself and sacrifice 2 hours of your Saturday afternoon. We could be going to get a brewski down at bloody Brighton Beach or whatever. You could be going to get a brewski, chilling out. Looks like a beautiful afternoon there. Amazing. Why would you care about, sacrificing 2 hours of your time to watch this team play? It means you're a true fan and you should be very, very proud of yourself for that. So, if you are a Dragons fan and you're still watching, you've got no reason to, but that shows the tenacity that you have for your club, and that's what footy and sport is all about. So, yeah, look, I hope for the best here for the Dragons. I do think that there is a sneaky little chance that they could get a win here today with the fact that the Tigers have been extremely underwhelming in recent weeks, to be fair. Extremely underwhelming, especially that Knights game. That Knights-Tigers game last week might have been the worst game of all time. It was. I feel like it was the worst game of the season, followed probably in second by either Titans Dragons or Bulldogs. Oh no, Bulldogs Eels is worse than Bulldogs Manly, but Bulldogs Eels. I'd probably say it goes 1 Knights Tigers, 2/3 would be Titans Dragons, Bulldogs Eels, and then 4 would be pretty convincingly Bulldogs versus Manly, and then 5 would probably be that Raiders versus Eels game a couple of weeks ago as well. So we've had some absolute stinkers in these last 5 weeks. Absolute stinkers. But this is what happens at this time of the season. After this round finishes, after tomorrow finishes, guys, we've got Origin on Wednesday. But then we've got the home stretch. It is the final straight. It is the long straight. You just need to go get your results, get your wins. You're going to really have to slap it down for that last 8 rounds or whatever it is. We're getting to a really crucial point of the season. So, obviously, we've been live for every single game of rugby league so far this season. And this is actually typically around the time that I do get a little bit burnt out. I think this last week I've been quite burnt, quite a bit. I've definitely, but that's because the FIFA World Cup's been on too. So, I've been doing FIFA World Cup content extremely late at night, plus also the NRL. Typically, this is the time of the year when I got burnt out, and I have actually been for this last week, but I've still cracked on. And Dragons fans, you're still cracking on. So let's just crack through it together, despite the fact that you're probably burnt out watching this Dragons team right now. But we are about to get to the home straight just next week, and the Tigers, they're going to be a part of that group of teams that will need to get that whip out and just whip it home strongly. Now we go to the Tigers ins, Alex Twell, Charlie Murray, and Jock Madden, with the outs being Jerome Luai, Maverick Gaia, and Talon May. The fullback is Jareem, the Dream Buller, with the wingers being Sunday Torova and Jarrell Skelton. Centres of Hiamasi Makasini and Stafford Tua. The 5'8" is Jock Madden, with the halfback being Adam Dewey. The front row forwards are Terrell May and Bunty. And then the number 9 is Apisai Korowi Sao, who is the captain. The back row is Tony Suka and Siani Fayunu, with the 13 being Alex Twell. Interchange of Funo Bole, Josesi Lanyan, Alex Seyfarth, Latu Fayunu, Falatino Tavana, and Charlie Murray, with the coach being Benji Marshall. Like I said, this Tigers team recently, I've definitely been slipping. You know, they were quite lucky to get that win against the Gold Coast Titans, even though ultimately they did just simply win the game. Yes, there was a lot of controversy involved, but at the end of the day, they were just simply the better team. They were able to get the job done. It was very much a Titans disaster class, like a Tony Popovich special, in regards to the way they finished that game off. But, you know, that is their only win in the last month, the game against the Titans. Because outside of that, 12-6 lost to the Knights last week, which was just horrific. The 36-22 lost to the Dolphins, which wasn't great. Obviously, yeah, that 36-28 win over the Titans. And then the 68-0 loss over the Panthers. I feel like there's just every year they have one game where they lose by 60 plus. Because last year, I think it was 66-0 or 64-0 that the Storm beat the Tigers by? It could have been 68 too, to be fair. I swear every year there is a loss like this, actually, because you've had 68-0 this year. Last year it was like 66-0 against the Storm. And then the year before that, wasn't that the 72-0 against the Cowboys? Or was that the year before that? I don't know, but shit, man. Shit, man, I just realized that. 68-0 here. I know there was like a 66-0 Storm game last year. And then I think it was the year beforehand where you had that, where you won 66-18 over the Cowboys at Leichhardt, but then you went up to North Queensland and you lost 72-0. So in the space of like 5 weeks, it switched around by like 130 odd points. Crazy stuff. This Tigers team is something, isn't it? It's something. So yeah, that's their last 4 weeks. So you do get concerned about it, and it does show you why there is the little inkling that the Dragons could win this game, because they've been on a bit more of an upwards trajectory, whilst the Tigers have been definitely on more of a downwards trajectory. However, when the Tigers have been playing their teams, the Dolphins, obviously they are a top 3 team. The Panthers, they are the first place team. And the Knights are in the top 5. It's just absolute schmozzle that they're in the top 5. It's an absolute shambles. But they are a fraudulent. And if you argue that, you're a fraud as well. You're a fraud just like that. But they are still technically, all 3 of those teams that they lost to were top 5 teams. So now they're taking on 17th. So you would expect the Tigers to win. So I'm going to tip the Tigers here. And I'm going to tip them to win. Because I think that even with the fact that Jerome Luai's out, Jock Madden and Adam Dewey worked well together earlier on in the season. I'm pretty certain they did. I think they went over to the... Actually, I think those 2 guys were the ones who were the halves against the Warriors over in New Zealand back in round 4 or 5, whenever it was, round 3 or 4. No, because the Warriors won the first 3 games of the season, then they lost 2 games straight. I think it was round 4, because then they lost the Sharks the week after. So I'm pretty certain that I'm pretty certain these guys played the halves for the Tigers in that Warriors game, and also maybe the week after as well. I'm not too sure. But I still have confidence in this Tigers team to get this W today. So sorry, Dragons fans. I don't think it would be an absurd shock if the Dragons won this. I just don't think it would be. I think it would be a good win, and they're earning of a win, because in recent weeks they've been really pushing towards it. But just don't hold those expectations. So I'm going to live by example here of not holding the expectations for the Dragons. I'm not going to be tipping them. I'm going to tip the Tigers, and I'm going to hope for the best in regards to them. I'm going to hope for the best that they just find a way to get a result here. Now, in terms of the ladder, the Dragons, obviously they're in 17th position on 6 points. They've got the 1 win with the 2 buys. They have played the 15 games and have the worst points differential of minus 253. They are slightly worse off than the Eels defensively. Now they're 473 compared to the Eels of 465. So it's only 8 points that separate them defensively. And attacking-wise, they are very clearly the worst attacking team in a competition. Quite clearly. Yeah. By the way, Bulldogs, you are still the second worst attacking team in a competition. So even though you've been getting those wins lately, you are still the second worst with 276.4. The Dragons are at 220. The Dragons right now are essentially what the Knights were last year. Actually, I think the Dragons are slightly better attacking-wise than the Knights were last year. Hold on 1 second. So what did the Knights finish on in 2025? Because they were just the worst attacking team of all time. So in round 27, the Knights finished on 338 points. Yeah, for sure. This Dragons team, 1,000,000% will get more than that. 1,000,000% over this next... They've got 9 more games out of the 10 more round season. They're going to get more than 118 points, 100%. So that the Dragons won't finish. I don't believe they'll have a worse attack than the Knights last year, but it still is relatively close. So they're very similar on that level. And obviously, rugby league is an attacking-minded game nowadays. But anyway, point matter is, win or lose, Dragons, you are still going to be in last position. If you lose, flat out, the spoon is guaranteed. Just simply said, flat out, it's guaranteed. If you win this game, however, you would be on 2 wins. Now, the Titans are on 4 wins. The Broncos and the Eels are on 5 wins. But the issue is that you're at a minus 253. The Titans have a minus 108, and the Broncos have a minus 114, and the Eels minus 169. The only team that's in relative QE to you is the Eels at minus 169, and that's still, 80-odd points separating you, 84 points that separate you and them. So that's why when you talk about it, yes, they're only 3 wins behind the Titans, and 4 wins is still pretty hefty to the Broncos and Eels. But it's essentially a 4-game gap on the Titans, and it's essentially a 5-game gap on the Broncos and Eels because your points differential is that bad compared to theirs. So it's all well and good if the Titans, lost a couple of games and the Dragons won a couple of games. You're not expecting the Dragons to win by a big margin, and I guess the Titans could lose by a big margin here and there, but their defense has actually been a top 8 defense so far this season. So you wouldn't actually expect the Titans to get absolutely smashed across the park nowadays with the fact that their defense has improved. So with that being said, you need to accumulate a 145 point swing in regards to points differential. So that's why you're essentially right now 4 wins behind them, despite the fact that you're only technically 3 wins behind them, right? So that's the Dragons right now. Nothing's really going to be changing there, but at least with a win, it gives them some hope. And then you've just got to hope that the Titans keep losing, But we're going to win every game for the rest of the season. The Titans may never lose a game ever again, so it's impossible for you. Maybe you can chase down the Broncos or the Eels, though, because maybe they don't win a game for the rest of the season. On the other side of things, the Tigers, they're in 12th position. They're on 18 points, which is equal with the Melbourne Storm. The Storm had the bye. They were originally below them. Now they're above them, but they are on the same amount of wins. It's just that the Storm have finally got their second bye. So every team's at least had 2 byes now. Inclusive of the Cowboys, who Storm and Cowboys actually hadn't had a bye until about 2 weeks ago, and now they've had back-to-back byes in pretty quick weeks. So the Storm are above them, but if the Tigers win this game against the Dragons, they would go above the Storm, and they would go equal with the Bulldogs. They would need to win by 12 points or more. So the Tigers are on minus 90, the Bulldogs are on minus 78. If you win by 13 points or more, you would go above the Bulldogs there into 10th position. So a 13-plus win here puts you up there into 10th. You within 2 points of the top 8, because no matter what, the Rabbitohs, the Cowboys will be on 22 by the end of the week. Cowboys aren't technically in the 8, but they've actually got 9 wins to themselves, so it just comes down to byes to the other teams. It just comes down to their bye and other teams losing, essentially. But the point of the matter is that you would be still technically 2 points out of the top 8, so you would be in with a chance. However, if you lose this game, well, geez, son, you're not going to be moving anywhere. You're not going to be dropping off anywhere. But the Raiders are close to you. The Titans will be, well, they're only 4 points behind you. You would be getting ever so close to that bottom 4 again, which is a nightmare because the Tigers obviously have a lot of positivity. They have a lot of belief that this Tigers team is moving in the right direction. They're going forwards, and then they're kind of back in this area now. Last year they finished in 13th position. Now, last year was a positive year because no matter as long as they avoided the spoon, it was a positive year because they won 3 wooden spoons in a row. And then last year they got 5th last, and there was a belief that this was the year they were going to really seriously push up forward. And then, yeah, injuries have happened, but injuries do happen, and it showed the Tigers don't really have the depth right now. But they're only, despite their amazing start to this season, they're only 1 one spot above where they actually ended up finishing last year. So right now, this is looking like a very similar year to last year as we currently speak. And it's actually kind of strange to think like that, because the Tigers last year contextually are a very different team to how they are this year contextually. So there is, the Tigers, you're not going to be dropping off anywhere. The Raiders are only 2 points below you right now, but you would be with minus 90. And your points differential, you need to use this game as a game where you blow them out by 40. You need to win this game by 40, Tigers, because you can win games all you like. But I promise you, the other teams won't lose enough for you to clear and definitively get into the top 8 with that points differential. It's not like what we saw from the Knights, 3, 4, 5 years ago, whenever it was. I think it was 2021 actually, where they had a minus 140 points differential and still found a way into the coming in 7th position. It's not like that. This competition is really, really close, and you can't expect to get in cleanly on your own point system without there being other teams on the same amount of points as you. And your points differential is not good enough, because when you look at let's look at the top 9. Actually, no, let's look at the top 11 here, because the Bulldogs are the only team within relative distance to you of minus 78. Outside of that, the Cowboys are minus 17, so still 70 odd points better than you. 63 odd points better than you. The Storm are minus 6, so they're 84 points better than you. And then we get into the positives of all the top 8 teams. With Sharks plus 45, Rabbitohs plus 84, Manly plus 142, Knights plus 40, Dolphins plus 131, Roosters plus 60, Warriors plus 168, and the Panthers plus 280. The Roosters' points differential is not that great at 60. It's not that great. That's plus 60. You're at minus 90. So if I'm saying the Roosters at plus 60 isn't that spectacular, then that's a major, major concern. They're in 3rd position, but the difference is that they have the ability to win enough games to really assert themselves. They only need 3 more wins to guarantee their top 8. You essentially need 32 points now to guarantee a top 8 spot in 2026. I think that's what we got last year, wasn't it? Was it 32? I think it was 32 last year as well, wasn't it? It was 32. Yeah, 32 guaranteed them the Roosters in to the finals there. So yeah, you need 32 points, which means that you need 13 wins. So the Panthers locked in their spot yesterday. they locked in their spot yesterday. Warriors, Roosters, Dolphins, and Knights only need 3 more wins this season. Manly and the Cowboys need 4 more wins this season. The Rabbitohs and the Sharks, they need 5 more wins this season to get to the 32. Tigers, you need 6 more wins this season, and that's across these last 10 rounds. Yes, you got a bye, but that doesn't matter. You need 6 more wins this season across the last 10 rounds. Across the last 9 rounds. Jeez. 6 out of your last 9. That's getting tough, bro. That's getting real tough. Same thing goes to the Bulldogs. Same thing goes to the Storm. Storm luckily have the Titans next week at home in Melbourne. Raiders, they need 7. It's not happening in 9. You need an absolute miracle. Titans would have to win 9 out of 9. They would have to win. Well, they played all 3 of their byes, so they would need to win 9 out of 10 to get to 32. But then again, they're on top of the table. Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear it. But anyway, there's the ladder. There's the preview. 5 minutes to go until the game starts here. If you don't hit the thumbs up button, your team is going to come last every single year for the rest of eternity. And obviously subscribe if you're new around here. Get around it. Serpent says, with capitals, did you watch Cape Verde go toe-to-toe with Argentina? Yes, I did. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it back as soon as I woke up. Jess says, morning. Get around you, Jess. Annie says, morning, Jess. How are you? I didn't even get a morning me. Annie, the first thing, Annie says, morning, Jess. Don't get a morning me. Don't get a how are you, Blaze. BK, you buddy, you're okay? You sweet? You fine? No, you don't care about me. We don't care about the old BKR over here. But to be fair, though, Jess is a good character. Jess is good. Ibrahim says, is there any chance this will be a good game? Look, yes. I don't know if the quality will be good. I don't think the quality will be amazing. But I think that if you're looking at it on a basis of close game equals good game, then yes, I think this could be a close game. But good game, I would lean towards quality. And I wouldn't necessarily say there's a whole bunch of quality here. Nikhil says, evening people, I'll be lurking and listening to this comms. It's a new, hopefully better era for New Zealand rugby tonight. Rennie's first test match. Well, good luck. Good luck with that one. Aspect says, can't wait to hate watch Egypt versus Argentina. I'll be hate watching the living shit out of that. Jess's Blaze, Cape Verde game was amazing. I started to watch. They didn't deserve to lose. Yeah, look, it's so unfortunate, man. That would have been awesome. Amazing story. You know, there's a difference, right? This is the thing. It's a round 32 match. You've got Australians who are extremely frustrated because we believe we should have done better. We know we should have done better, but our coach and manager just completely had a disaster class of a tournament. And then you've got Cape Verde who went out in the same competition at the same time, and they push it all the way. It's an incredible success for Cape Verde. It's just an incredible success for them in that FIFA World Cup. So I'm looking forward to streaming a lot of their games when it comes to their local tournaments and whatnot, to really understand a lot more about Cape Verde post World Cup. Because again, like I've told you guys, this World Cup has kind of just been me dipping my foot into the water in regards to footballing streams and footballing content. I'm not expecting really anything from this FIFA World Cup, but we are going to be going ham in regards to a permanent international football channel as well, where we've got the Asian Championships with the likes of Vietnam and Indonesia and all these places. I'm actually spewing. I'm going to be in Kazakhstan when Vietnam play in Hanoi. I would have gone to it. But we're going to be doing that. We've got the AFCON. We've got the Asia Cup coming up in January. We've got the Nations League, which is the European teams and all that type of stuff. So we'll be live for all those. I'll get around a lot more international friendlies. So again, this FIFA World Cup has been just like a bit of passion and enjoying and just watching it and kind of seeing how the commentary style is going to go. But we are moving into a more permanent football as well, alongside the Rugby League here. Rugby League is always priority. It is always number one, and we've always done Rugby League. But I've always been searching for what we can do in the off-season, because I do love my cricket, but I've always been a football fan. Football's always been alongside Rugby League passion-wise. It's just that I enjoyed watching football separately. I'm not going to stream Premier League. I'm not going to do that because I want to watch Man City and I want to watch the Premier League separately, where I can actually just enjoy a beer and watch it. But I've always wanted to find something that I was passionate about that I could do throughout the year and more so in the off season, so that we're always creating content. Because once we get past the Rugby League season, for so many years, I've always felt so lost in regards to what to do. And most content creators will have this in terms of sport. When they cover a sport, like if you're an NBA follower, you'll watch it from, you'll stream or you'll create content from maybe August until June, July. And then there's a couple of months in between. It's just like, well, what do I do now? Nobody really cares. And blah, 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 blah. So you want to always be doing something. So that's why I'm really looking forward to post this World Cup more so than the World Cup. I am. Jess says, who we say the try scorers will be? Try scorers in this game? I'm going to go with a cheeky little Setu too. Yeah, I'm going to slap in a Setu. You know what? No. I'm going to go Kyle Flanagan. I'm going to go Kyle Flanagan to score a try here today, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. There is nothing that you can do to stop me. Annie says, Setu 2, little a Couchman bro, Tigers Buller. Can't believe you didn't use Kyle Flanagan. Guaranteed try scorer today. Guaranteed. Well, not a guarantee. not a guarantee, but I believe that Kyle Flanagan could get over the line here today. I don't know, there's just a vibe. There's just a gut feeling about it. I'm going to go Kyle Flanagan in the halfback. And then in regards to the forwards, I'll go Toby Couchman with you. Yeah, I'll back you, Annie. I'll go Toby Couchman with you. And then we move across here to the Tigers. And, geez, their back line's a little bit pieced apart. I'm going to back in a Stafford Toa. Here. I think he should be the goods. Yeah, Stafford Toa in the centre. And then forwards-wise, oh, boy. Oh, I miss Sam Walafine, man. He's usually my go-to here. I might go with a little bit of an Appy Psychotowy Sow. Yeah, I'm going to sneak him. I'm going to get a little bit of a cheeky sneaky Appy Psychotowy Sow. Yes, sir. That's what I'm going to do. So, my try scorers for the Tigers, I'm going to go with cheeky, sneaky Appy Psychotowy Sow and also Stafford Toa. And then for the Dragons, I'm going to slap in a Kyle Flanagan, which is an underdog shout, and also a Toby Couchman, which is also a relative underdog shout. But there's nothing you can do to stop me. There's just nothing you can do to stop me. It's unbelievable stuff. I'm a true St George Illawarra Dragons fan forever, even through bad time or good time. Good. That's exactly what you want to see. It's exactly what you want to see. Wango says, you already kicked the like button in the teeth, mate. Wango, that is the best thing you could have done. I really hope it wasn't like a Cody Walker kick, but then again, maybe it was a Cody Walker kick where he just kicked out an opponent. I want you to just, buddy, Curb stomp it. Curb stomp the like button. That's what we need to do. Get around you. Jet says, got to give it to the Gold Coast. Good win against Penrith. Yeah, fantastic win against Penrith. That was 2 weeks ago, though. There's a better win that you're not talking about, and it was the 150 points to nil win in the first 5 minutes against the bye before they decided to forfeit. The bye decided to forfeit after the Titans were up 750 to nil in the first 20 minutes of that game. So that's what we should be talking about. Zane Harrison scored every single point. Every single point for the Titans against the bye. Zane Harrison scored all 750 in the first 20 before they decided to forfeit. Cole says, hey, champ, just chimed in. What's the start time or is it over? I have no idea. What's the weather doing at the ground, wherever it is? The weather is completely fine. The game's starting literally right now. Right now, man. I know that people get confused because the time zone down here is not Australian time zone. I'm in Vietnam, and you're going to even get more confused when I'm in Kazakhstan in a couple of weeks. No, the game has just kicked off now. The Dragons will start with the ball at the 13. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around to you. Curb stomp the buddy. Damn well thumbs up button. Oh, Dragons are away already. Dragons are right through the line here. What a great run from Fionney. Already at the 45 on second tackle. Fantastic start here for the Dragons. All right, St George, give us a go. Give us a little bit of a go. Give us a sniff of a good game here. Third tackle for St George, and they'll beat the 40 on the Tigers side of the field. Not a good start there for the Tigers. Yeah, no, I'm all right, guys. Man, I know what football's like, bro. I know sport. We've all grown up with sport to understand the ramifications, and that's why sport is so amazing, because of losses like that yesterday or this morning for me. That's why sport is so amazing, because when you do win, that's why it feels the way it feels. That's why you get emotional. That's why 1 second, Dragons will knock the ball on, and Dream Buller will grab this ball here at the 10 on zero tackle. You need the losses to make the wins feel relevant, and that's why I never agree with people bandwagoning, and I never agree with people who just jump on teams who just win, because how do you know what it feels like? Like, what does it actually mean to you? Like, if you jumped on the Panthers in 2022 after they won their first grand final in 2021, cool, you won 3 premierships in a row, but you just don't get it. That's a 6 again of the Tigers at the 30. You just don't understand what it means because you weren't there for the years in the 2010s where they were a mediocre team. Rabbitohs, for example, if you had have jumped on them just for 2014 when they won that grand final against the Bulldogs, well, how do you know how much that meant to all the Rabbitohs fans? Because you weren't there for when they were the worst team in the history of ever. When I was growing up in the early 2000s, the mid-2000s, the 1990s and whatnot, this team was always winning the wooden spoon. They were like the Tigers of the 3 years prior to last year. So that's why when it comes to Australia, those losses, that loss will make you feel so much better when you do win eventually. I'm very well aware of sport. Fit tackle now at the 30. It's hard at the time, but that's because you love it. So the Dragons will not get this ball. Tigers, I don't know what, this is a little bit of pinball action here. Pinball action. Oh no, we're not seeing another one of these tries, are we? Oh my gosh, this might be a penalty try. We nearly just saw another Jai Gray moment from last night. Clint Gutherson might have just pulled the player back here. This may be a penalty try here for the Tigers. If not, it's definitely a bin. Sutter said, I should have changed the Dragons. Most people in my tipping comp tip the Tigers. These 50-50 games, I always like to try to go opposite. Yeah, I probably would have agreed with you. I think that they're a good value, little chance. But the Tigers will go up for this, and it's going to be knocked back. And then it's pinball between legs here. Sunya Taruva moving around. Tries to kick it through. Goes into a Dragon. Not played at by the Dragons. Tigers still bobbling this ball around. Now, what does Gutho do here, though? Okay, the ball's played up by Cufflingham here. So either way, it's a 6 again. Yeah, Jock Madden's onside here. This is a really awkward one. So there's no try here, but it's just coming down to whether it's a penalty try. Because Gutho is the last man. So if he holds him back... Oh, Tyrell Sloan's in the vicinity. Yeah, bin. You can't say, because Sloan's gone... Yeah, it's a professional foul. You can't say penalty try because Tyrell Sloan's there. So it's a professional foul. Clint Gutho will go to the bin, and this will be Tigers ball 10 metres out with a penalty. Because Tyrell Sloan's in the vicinity, it cannot be a try. But that is absolutely ridiculous there from Clint Gutherson, especially considering that Tyrell Sloan was there. Get around you, Brocky. Tualan Taruva for sure. Wonka says, I read that. Aspect says Sloan, he's leaving at the end of the year. Hurts was one of my favourites to ever play. That's my favourite. Leaves Widdop, Amon. and Sloan, I'm a curse. Amon was one of your favourite Dragons players of all time? Amon was one of your favourite players of all time? I get the Widdop shout. Sloan's an interesting one, but Amon? Ash Klein says, gee whiz, this is going to be a poo slinger. Well, we've already seen a bend for the Dragons, and now Bunty, forward, the big Tigers, man. 5 metres away from the line. 5 metres away. And they go out to the left-hand side, and Alex Twell, he'll be 4 metres out. Big Twally. Come on, get over the line, Twell. Get over the line. Second tackle, and they'll get out to Jock Madden. Jock Madden at 13 to Adam Dewey. Dewey to Dream Baller. Sunda Turova. Yeah, Turova's playing centre here. I find it interesting. They name him as the 2 every single week, but he ends up playing right centre with Jarrell Skelton on the outside. Adam Dewey, Terrell May, Jock Madden. They go out to Mukassini. Great tackle there from Matty Feeney, who's looking to have a big game at the moment. They go out to Jock Madden underneath to Terrell May, and Terrell May 5 metres away. St George coming in with a little bit of defence here. Since when? Fit tackle here out to Jock Madden. Jock Madden gets it across to Adam Dewey. Dewey across to Dream Baller. Baller inside, and that is one of the worst 5 tackle sets you're going to ever see. So it's Dragons ball hit the 10. Why would you not get a kick away here? Why would you not get a kick away there? Ibrahim says, ever since that's the final prediction, Blaze has been making the most outlandish takes on try scorers. Listen, it's not for everyone. You know, having this mind for getting this the most unbelievable try scorers. Like Ibrahim, I predicted Utu Gamanu 1 time, and that's the only try he scored this season. You know, I don't expect you to understand the absolute just unbelievableness about my try scorer predictions, because it's just like the elite level. Like it's elitist. Like it's the top of the top. Obviously, just not at this top of the top level yet, Ibrahim. You're just not at the top of the top level. If Kyle Flanagan scores here today, you'll hear about it. You'll hear about it. Fit tackle with the Dragons. And they will whack this ball from the 45 on the Tigers side of the field. Should be an easy grab for Dream Baller, and he does get it the 15. You just got to try and get to that level, Ibrahim. I'm pleading with you. I'm trying to push you to that level. Come on, push you. Come on, get to the level. Brenton says, what was the coach thinking taking Beach out of the game? That frustrated me as a casual. Well, yeah, no, I can promise you, as not a casual, wasn't happy. The tackler at the 38, but that wasn't the worst thing he did. That was not the worst part of the game yesterday. Benny says, I should have put $10 on the Dragons to win. Yeah, I think that would have been a cheeky little shout. I don't know how much they're paying, but they definitely would be underdogs here, and there's definitely a chance for them to win. Fit tackle now at the 45. Fit tackle. Aspect says, I'm 18, didn't see that 2010 team. I also love all our youth players. Feel like they're a part of the club. Well, they are a part of the club. Tigers now beat the 15, and that'll be fit tackle. So Dragons ball. Tigers have just looked dribble on the attack so far. Dragons have looked at least defensively sound. Who's some other players? Oh, so you didn't see the likes of Jason Nightingale and whatnot? Because I was going to say, surely over the last 15 years, most Dragons fans would, like a little bit of Gareth Widdop. Obviously, massive fans of Ben Hunt. Massive fans of Ben Hunt. But no, Gareth Widdop and Jason Nightingale. Hey, listen, you can say Benji Marshall. You know, Benji might be one of your favourite Dragons players of recent years. I think he did win Player of the Year at the club 1 year. Oh, Damien Cook's dropped it. Goes backwards. No, it's a knock-on. No, it's a knock-on. Oliver says, what do you think the Tigers are going to win or not? I think it's tight because the Tigers aren't fantastic, but I think they should win. They're going up against the Dragons. $2.20 for the Dragons. Wow, this is very even. Damn. Again, the Dragons have been looking better recently, and the Tigers have been looking awful recently, so I can understand why it's actually closer than I thought. David Watson says, everyone seems to hate on my Panthers, but you're right, we had a lot of crap years, 91 win, 03 win, then 2021. Your awful years aren't as... Dream Baller done this wing, he'll be at the 20. He's over the sideline here. Is he over the sideline? No, he just stayed in. First tackle for the Tigers at the 20, and Mukassini now, he'll get taken down at the 15 on the second tackle. The Panthers' bad years weren't as bad as other teams' bad years. But you've got to realise the hate doesn't come from it being Penrith, per se. The hate comes from success because fans are jealous of the success. And it's not like the Panthers are like the Roosters who go and buy all their talent. Penrith developed their talent. Penrith developed this team over these years. Sunitarova taken down. Half a metre short of the line. Second tackle of the Tigers. Come on, show us a bit better attack here. Again, Dragons defensively have been solid enough so far in this game, but Tigers are really one-dimensional on the old attack as we speak. Alex Twell, who'll be taken down here at 10 on third tackle. And Connery Sow goes out to the left. Jareem Buller goes to himself. Oh, he's lost the ball. Good on you, Dragons. Oh, they're going to say this is a knock-on here from the Dragons. I think they just said this is a knock-on against the Dragons here. Do I dare ask what the worst thing he did? No, it's a whole tournament thing, bro. We'll talk about it more on football streams. Oh, I don't know how you can say that's not a knock-on against the Tigers. Setu 2 has knocked it on after we've seen a knock-on from the Tigers. I can't believe that. How have you said that's not a knock-on from Jareem Buller? So the Tigers, happy side, Connery Sow gets it out to Adam Dewey, and Dewey is going to be 3 metres away from the line first tackle. Saw Nightingale at the end of his career. It wasn't in his heyday. Yeah, Jason Nightingale, fantastic player. Second tackle now for the Tigers. He'll be 3 metres away from the line. Bunty Afoa. Still a man in the bin for the Dragons. Remember, Tigers, you're going up against a man in the bin right now. That's their fullback out to the left, surely. Tries to Adam Dewey. I think so. Try time for Adam Dewey. Dewey. He does. He gets it over. There's 4-0 here with a kick to come. 4-0 with a kick to come. It took him a while, especially with the Dragons having a man in the bin, but they finally get over. Dewey. They just got done for numbers out in this left wing. Well, actually, not even really. They didn't actually get done for numbers. The defense in this right edge was actually pretty poor. They were way too inwards. Way too inside. Try time, bing bong, muddabish. Stupid ref. What's wrong with the... Oh, yeah, that's actually correct, because I thought there was definitely a knock-on from Dream Buller. But it is what it is. With penalty shootout, the most important thing is to score your own penalties. Those 2 missing really didn't help, and using an 18-year-old defenders is just so wrong. Where are the seniors? Yeah, well, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I did have a pretty strong say in regards to this tournament from Australia on my Instagram stories. Clevy Wooden said, I don't hate any team besides the Maroons. That streak still hurts. That's what I love to hear. I love to hear that, Clippy Wooden. As a Queenslander, oh my gosh, I thrive. I thrive knowing that you hate Queensland. I thrive because people don't hate teams that aren't good. So I love it. Adam Dewey from the left-hand side. How many did they win again in a row, Cliffy Wooden? Can't remember. I cannot remember. Sideways, Harumble from the Tigers. It's very Harumble. Try Tom, bing bong, muddabish. Did he get that down? Yeah, he got it down. So Adam Dewey from this left wing. I hate the Dogs, they aren't good, but they have been. They aren't good now, but they have been. So 10 minutes gone in the first half. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Dewey. He won't. He will not this time. It'll stay 4-0. He misses the conversion. Gaze Blaze rage bait. I'm not rage bait at all. I'm tired. I've had a long night streaming Australia versus Egypt. Woke up and now I'm just asking a genuine question. I can't remember how many times Queensland won in a row. Was it 8 in a row? Was it 8 in a row? Really, I actually think it's 11 and a 12, but I'm just trying to figure out, was it 8 in a row or was it 8 in a row? If it wasn't one of those, was it 8 in a row instead? Now that's the biggest question. Oh, let me see. I sent you a video of my partner who's a Rabbits fan doing the do dance. Yeah, but he's never been to a Rabbitohs game before, Olivia. He's never been to a Rabbitohs game before. Second tackle now for the Tigers. They'll be at the 25. Is that why people hate Titans? If so, I get it. You're exactly right. If people hate the Titans, it's because they're number one. Number one, mate. Number one. Numero uno. Third tackle. Tigers at the 45. Dream Buller. He'll be at the 50 now on fourth tackle. Dogs were good before Galvin. Well, sure. I don't think it's just his fault, though. Fifth tackle now at the 40. Olivia says he's even wearing a Broncos jersey. He's not a Rabbitohs fan. I don't believe it. He's never been to a Rabbitohs game and the bro's wearing a Broncos jersey. You're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives? What is the do-do-do dance? It's the stupid thing the Broncos fans do where they go like do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do when they score a try. And every time that a team scores against them, everyone else does it to mock them. Well, that's what the do-do-do dance is. 55 seconds left here, and it's a penalty to the Dragons. 55 seconds left of the man in the bin, which is Gutho, and a penalty to the Dragons. Aspect says, I come to find as a Dragons fan, a fun thing to celebrate is when the opposition miss their conversions. The only thing we can celebrate lately. Well, you've been scoring more tries lately. The worst dance ever invented. Exactly, Brenton. And that's why it really grinds my gears with the Titans, where they don't understand. I don't know if they still do it. Actually, Titans fans who go together. Hey, Brocky, you're here. Do they still do the no? It's quite literally just the Broncos who do this. Instead, the Titans do this. It's the most. It's ridiculous. It's just tone deaf in terms of like, and some people are going to celebrate it and they're going to be like, wow, this is awesome. But they're not going to realize that it's quite literally just taking away from the Broncos who do that. And what the Broncos do is ridiculous. They sure do. We need to get our own thing, man. We need to get our own thing. It's quite literally the same thing, just sideways. 4 tackle with the Dragons. They go to the right, off to Atkinson, Fiona, and Fiona will be 15 metres away. 4 tackle now. And they'll get this ball across to Daniel Atkinson on fit tackle, puts the ball up, good chase. Good take by Todorova, but it'll be in the field of play, so it's going to be a dropout. Dropout here for the Tigers, the Dragons. I taught them about ping pong shows and ladyboys today. You go to Singapore, though, there's none of those there. Well, there is, but it's not as prolific as Thailand. Yeah, Olivia, how old is this kid? Yeah, how does he not know about the Thailand ping pong shows? I'm so glad I never went to that, by the way. I have no interest whatsoever. Oh, that's going to be knocked on here from the Tigers, I think. Yep, that's a knock on for the Tigers. So Dragons will get this ball hit the 15. He's 21. He's 21? 21, this is the first time he's heard about it. So you're telling me this guy hasn't gone to a Rabbitohs game ever, claims to be a Rabbitohs fan, is now wearing a Broncos jersey. Tigers are challenging this. This is an interesting challenge. And hasn't heard about this kind of stuff as a 21. Wow. Are you going to take him to one of the shows? She's going to Singapore, bro. She's not going to Thailand. 6 of 12 this year on the challenge front for the Tigers. And who gets this touch here? You've got Stafford Toa. It's a not. What the hell are you challenging, Tigers? What are you challenging, West Tigers? They've lost their challenge. Well, you're 6 from 13. You're below 50% on the challenges. That is awful. That is an awful, awful challenge. Benny says, 2 things you learn before turning 18. Ladyboys in Thailand and happy endings in Bali. Happy endings in Bali. Gee whiz. Bali. Is it really? Oh, set to 2. I haven't been to Indonesia yet. First tackle at 5. Is it as prolific in Indonesia as it is like in Thailand? Second tackle to get the 10. I've never really been, like, I know everyone goes to Indonesia. I've always been more so interested elsewhere because Indonesia is just such a strong Australian tourist point. So I'd like to go away from it a little bit. Let that side. Chance. Try time, I think, for Tyrell Sloan. Oh, they're going to check this. His legs are going to be closed. This may have been a try time for Tyrell Sloan. May have been a try time. He could be out, though. Tyrell Sloan, he's got the speed, but this might be a fantastic tackle here from the West Tigers. Suna Turova gets up and around him, and he will be up in the air. No, he's out. He's just out there. There's nothing worse than Thailand in this discussion, Benny. Just, you can't walk, man. You can't walk in that place, especially if you're like in Bangkok and whatnot. Gary said I certainly did, but even more now. Be careful, Gary. You're a Broncos fan. Be careful. Katrina says, what the hell is that challenge? Some random challenge that popped out of nowhere. Yeah, it was a ridiculous challenge because I don't know why Stafford Toa is telling them to challenge that ball when he knows that he clearly knocked that ball on. Olivia says, what's that place that's been on the news recently? Oh, you'd be talking about Pattaya. Pattaya is... I didn't go. I never went to Pattaya because it wasn't in my interest. I'm not interested whatsoever. But yeah, Pattaya is what you're thinking about there. It's it's not somewhere you probably really want to be going, Olivia, if I'm honest. There's definitely much better places in Thailand, much more amazing places in Thailand than Pattaya. Fifth tackle now for the Tigers at the 45, 15 minutes gone. Who's going to win, Penrith Panthers or Broncos? What? Katrina, what are you asking? Win what? The premiership? I hope that's not a premiership question. Because if it's a premiership question, there is an imposter among us. There is an imposter among us. There is a massive, massive imposter among us. Second tackle here at the 30. As a match. There is still a massive imposter among us, Katrina. You do realize that the Sharks play the Broncos today. But also, if the Panthers play the Broncos, they'd slap them. I'm going to make a prediction of 26-0 if it was at Suncorp. If it was at Suncorp, I'd say Penrith would probably win that game, maybe 26-0. Damien Cook gets this ball here to the 40 on fifth tackle. The Broncos are shithouse, Katrina. They're in fourth last right now. They're below they're third last, actually. They're below the Titans, and they're on the same points as the Eels. The Broncos are third last. What are we talking about the Broncos? So they go second tackle now to Hiamasi Makasini, and he'll be at the 25. I tell you what, though, I'm really excited that in 11 days' time, I'm going to Kazakhstan, and then 3 weeks after, I'm going to Kyrgyzstan. And we found out yesterday on stream that there has only ever been less than 15,000 people. That's 6 again here for the Tigers. The 40, good run by Apasau Koroisau, and we'll get this ball to the 50 on first tackle. There has only ever been less than 15,000 Australians that they have expected to have ever visited Kyrgyzstan. So I know for a fact that when I walk around and I take photos for Instagram and I show the Titans jersey in Kyrgyzstan, that I would be the only Titans fan. I'm confident I would be the only Titans fan to have ever visited Kyrgyzstan. I'm confident. Gary says, I must confess I've never been to a ping pong show. Not sure I want to. I have no interest, bro. Yeah, no interest. Like when you're walking around in Thailand, they'll ask you every 2 seconds, like, ping pong show, buddy, cheap, come. I just walk straight past, man. It's just not something that has ever interested me whatsoever, man. Whatsoever. It's 23 minutes to go here the first half. And the Tigers are going to bring on... This is a debutante, no? No, it's not. I don't know if it is a debutante. Was that just Cecil Lanyon? It's a once-off experience. It's a none-off experience for me. Third tackle now at the 33. No, it's Falatino Tavana coming on. He looks different. They go to the left. He's a rookie. He's not a debutant. And Tigers now will be at the 15 on fourth tackle. Adam Dewey. They get it to Jock Madden, to Bunty R4, and R4 will be at the 10 on fifth tackle now. This is definitely not the most exciting and unbelievable of games. We sat at Jock Madden, off to Adam Dewey. Still better than last week's Knights Tigers game, though. Just 100% still better. He'll kick that ball across, grab there for Tavana, and he'll be taken down with a knock-on. And it will be Dragons ball here at the 10. Maybe it's that he doesn't have the rat's tail anymore, Tavana. I think he's changed his hairstyle. Sando says, we've talked about it enough on stream. I kind of want to go now just for the meme. Have you ever been that way, Sando? I know you travel the world like me, but have you ever been that way? This is some Bulldogs level of attack if I've ever seen. Yeah, this attack from the Tigers is dribble. It's really poor. And the Dragons now, they'll get... That's a great run there from Dylan Egan. Okay, Brenton, let's slow down. That's a high tackle. There's the penalty. There is the penalty there. Todd Smith took a while to recognise that one. Another penalty against Bunty R4 for a high tackle. Yeah, Brenton, let's slow it down, eh? Let's slow it down in regards to the comment section. Let's keep it as respectful as we possibly can, please. Oh, you've been to Vietnam, Sunday. Whereabouts in Vietnam did you go? Let me guess. Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh. Did you come to Da Nang? That's where I am now. I'm sure you wouldn't have gone to Nha Trang. I really recommend Nha Trang, but Da Nang is awesome too. And now Dragons second tackle. They're 10 metres away from the line. 8 metres away from the line. Now second tackle. Here we go, St George. Can you get over the line, Damien Cook? Well, you've been down here once, and you did go over the line, but you were out of bounds. So at least it's a good sign that you can throw a bit of attack together. They go to Couchman. Toby Couchman, he's 3 metres out, 4 tackle. They give it out to Kyle Flanagan. Gutherson, quick passing. Tyrell Sloan, back onto the inside. Dragons. Oh, taking on the 5. Good scramble from the Tigers. And good work from Tyrell Sloan to make sure he didn't go over the sideline there. Kyle Flanagan, he'll put that ball up in the air. That's going to be knocked back even the Dragons. Set to 2, out to the right wing. Chance here. Matty Finney still stepping. Offloads it back to Daniel Atkinson. Atkinson gets it across. They've got numbers galore. Dragons! Tyrell Sloan! Tyrell Sloan would have tried time for St George. Ooh, spicy stuff. Spicy stuff for the St George Illawarra Dragons. 4 forward, a kick to come. 4 forward, a kick to come. Beautiful. So kicking it around, and then, poor defense here from the Tigers. Dragons just whip it across the right wing, and then he steps back and runs into a dead end, and then Daniel Atkinson with a huge pass across, and then they just pass it out to the... That's an amazing pass. Was that Dylan Egan with the pass? I think this might have been Dylan Egan with this last pass, which is just spectacular. No, it's not. It's... Who was the pass? A Dragons fan. Who was the one who... it was Toby Couchman. Toby Couchman. Sorry, I didn't get to see it. Couchman across, and then they end up scoring on this left wing. Beautiful. Try time, big ball, mother boosh, Brocky says. Went for 2 weeks 10 years ago. Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh, Ha Long Bay, and one other city. Can't remember off the top of my head. Ooh, one other city. So of course, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh. Ha Long, of course. Was it Hue? Was it Da Nang? Was it Hoi An? Surely wasn't Hoi An. If you had gone to Hoi An, you would have gone to Da Nang. Wouldn't have been my twat. If you had gone on a train, you would have heard it when I said it. I'm sure it probably would have been somewhere in the middle. It might have been Da Nang. It might have been Da Nang, to be fair, because this is a very popular destination. It's the Gold Coast of Vietnam. Oh, Hoi An. Okay. Oh, you did go to Hoi An. Why are you not going bloody Da Nang? It's half an hour down the road. Oh, Holmes will hit the post and miss it. Oh, we'll stay 4-4. 20 minutes to go here in the first half, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. You went to Hoi An, but you didn't go to Da Nang. Hoi An is like half an hour down the road. But Hoi An is very nice. It was a school trip. Oh, okay. Yeah, Da Nang is the Gold Coast of Vietnam. It absolutely is just simply the Gold Coast. High rises built up alongside the beach. Beautiful place. Beautiful. I've got a great view just outside my apartment here. Hue as well. I'm so surprised that you went to Hue and also Hoi An but didn't go to Da Nang. 19-13 half, almost leading 19-13, are they, he said. They're playing Ireland. Is it in New Zealand? We did go to... I'm sure you probably did. If you went to a beach, I'm sure you did. Dragons are away here. Val Holmes, the 40, the 50. They're going to score again here, the Dragons. They're going to score again. It's Kyle Flanagan. Ibrahim. Oh, Ibrahim, you were going to get ripped into shreds. Kyle Flanagan, if he had scored there, you would have copped it deluxe. Dragons, Daniel Atkinson to Toby Couchman. Forward tackle now at the 9. You'd better damn well hope the old Flano, the big Flano, doesn't score you. They go to the right, Loco Pacific and Tonga. 3 metres out playing France in Christchurch. Oh, France in Christchurch. Oh, it's Australia versus Ireland tonight, isn't it? Left-hand side, Gutho. What the hell is Gutho doing? It's gone backwards. It's fine. It's fine. No, they're going to say knock on. Gutho, what the hell are you doing? Gutho, what the hell are you doing? That was awful. That was awful. Gutherson, brother, what you doing? What are you doing, Gutho? Get grip yourself. Good evening, mate. Get ready, Shauna. So 17 minutes to go here in the first half, and the Tigers with the ball at the 15. And Falatino Tavana takes that to the 25 now in second tackle. It's the second string French team, though. Oh, well, are the All Blacks winning 19-13, or is it France winning 19-13? Because somebody before was saying that the All Blacks were losing. Is the Australia-Ireland game in Australia today, or is that in Dublin? And Cottery South is a good run here. He's so good with catching them off with those 6 agains. He didn't get it this time, but he's still so good with it. Bit tackling out to 30. 63-minute gains, massive. So Ireland versus Australia is in Australia tonight. Okay. Oh, Dragons will get this one. I think it's a knock on Tigers, though. No, they're going to say knock on Dragons here. I've seen some people going Allianz, I think. Fair enough. Gutherson. Oh, dude, he's having an absolute stinker. Clint Gutherson is having an absolute stinker right now, bro. He is having an absolute stinker of epic proportions as we speak. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boy. What has Best Sport sent me here? Oh, okay. Okay. How many else? What in the blue F was Tarova doing for that Sloan try? Well, look, I just think the Tigers were all done for numbers because they're just spreading the ball left, right. Good night from the Dragons, really. So first tackle, they go out to Terrell May, and Terrell May is going to be here at the 4. You've seen the Tigers all spread on the left-hand side because of the breakaway and because they kicked it across to the right, and then they were just able to pass the ball away to the back. And it was a great pass from Toby Couchman. England back to the 1 a.m. kickoff. Rubbish. Oh, true. So they're playing at the night time. Oh, that sucks for me. That's 4 a.m. rather than... That's great for Australian viewers. It's 7 a.m. rather than the 1 a.m., which I would have preferred. They go to the left to Terrell May. Terrell May. This is awful attack from the Tigers today. It really is. It's awful, awful attack from the Tigers today. Jock Madden, he'll kick this ball up in a good area. A lot of Dragons there, though. Knocked, I think, backwards here from the Tigers. Dragons get the ball to 3. This is awful, awful attack here from the Tigers today. And second tackle over St George. They'll bring it out to the 10. Tigers attack had looked so poor the last 2 weeks. Oh, it's looked so poor, man. Gutho to the 20 on third tackle. Gutho needs to stop getting involved in support. He's too slow. He won't score. To the right. And they'll be at the 25 on fourth tackle. An amazing set here. It shows on the momentum track of the Tigers about all the momentum. That's not true at all. Penalty to the Dragons here at the 35. That's not true at all, momentum tracker. That's completely untrue in regards to this game. How can you claim that the Tigers have had massive momentum all throughout this game? That's just not true. So 14 minutes to go in this first half. Original time back on. I'm sure the English should be really complaining about that. Fiji playing Wales later in Wales, even though it's a home fixture for Fiji. Yeah, I saw something about this. Why is Fiji not allowed to play in Suva or in Lautoka? Is there a reason? Why is it a home game in Wales against Wales? I saw a lot of my family complaining about that. Toby Couchman's going to be at the 30, but I haven't seen why. So Damien Cook, he's going to go to the right side. 6 again here. And underneath, they give it up to Fionney. And Fionney, he'll be taken down here at the 18. Bailey says, got to ask why the Knights still have scam on them. They don't have scam on them. They currently have fraud alert on them. And they absolutely do have fraud alert on them because most Knights fans here on the channel have asked for the fraud alert to go on them. A lot of people actually wanted me to put them on scam because they struggled to get past a couple of teams lately and their defense is absolutely potentially a fraud alert. This is probably going to be an obstruction here, but there might be a try for the Dragons. There might be a try here for Valentine Holmes and the Dragons, but there is also potentially an obstruction. We'll see that in the bunker. But it's a try over the Dragons for the time being. It's 8-4 here with a kick to come. Bailey, if you look at it from a neutral perspective and you try to take off your Knights fan bias, I can promise you that you can understand exactly why they're on fraud alert right now. I think the fact that they're in 5th right now is an absolute shambles. This may come back here from obstruction. Logistics are the main issue. The English FA were against the change due to fans making their way to the game, and to bring it forward by 6 hours would cause issues, yeah. And this is going to be no try. Yep. This is going to be no try here. What does last year's wooden spoon have anything to do with this year, Bailey? What does it have anything to do with what we're watching right now? Fraud alert has nothing to do with the fact that they got spoon last year. Absolutely nothing. Not a single part of it. And this is going to be... Yeah, it's an obstruction. It's an obstruction. No try here for the Dragons. Penalty to the Tigers. 12 and a half minutes to go here in the first half. It's better for Fiji to play upon the Northern Hemisphere because better money. True, but also, is that the reason, or are you just saying that for the sake of it? Yeah, I don't know why you set that up as a try too, Simon. That's why I didn't really get excited for that try, because I knew it was coming back. I knew 100% it was coming back. All right, so obstruction, and the Tigers will have the ball here at the 25. Sunya Daruwa gets it to Drell Skelton. Drell Skelton brings it to the 35 now on first tackle. Steve says, hey, Blaze, good calling again. If Gutho plays on next year, he will need to switch to a position where his lack of speed won't be a factor, but no idea what that would be. I think it's time to move on from Gutherson. You've got Scott Drinkwater in fullback. Past HIF, Himasi Makasini. But Drinkwater will be fullback, so Gutherson would need to push to the centres because that's the only real position he can play. He's not playing 6 or anything like that. So I honestly think it's time to move on. When does Gutho's contract finish? Is it next year? I would even consider as a 14, but there is also a consideration that he just doesn't really play. Oh, Dream Baller out to the left, and they'll be at the 15. And Jock Madden will put this one to the 10. Not a great kick there at all. And that will go over for a 7-tackle set here for the Dragons. No, that shouldn't be where he kicked it. It went over the dead ball line. That should be 7-tackle set at the 20. Oh, okay, whatever. So it's going to be 10 mates out. That's just a lot of people had them coming last again. I had them coming last again. I can understand. I hope they say top 8, but they don't see them being anywhere near the finals. But anyway, I'll listen to this game. But don't see them being anywhere near finals. Well, they'll make the finals. They only need to win 3 more games the rest of the season to make finals. The fraud load, you need to kind of read the room and understand the context behind it. The Knights have looked really good throughout the year, but their defense is also extremely suspect, and this is a trait of Justin Holbrook-led teams. I will always tip a team that came last the previous year because I need to see them prove that they're a defensive high tackle. Again, Tigers have been so ill-disciplined with high tackles today. So ill-disciplined. It's going to be a high tackle penalty here for the Dragons. They'll go back onto the attacking area. But I will always tip a team that came last year to come last this year, and the same thing for this year to next year, because I need to see that team go and prove it that they're a different team to what we saw. It has nothing to do with what happened last year. It has everything to do with the fact that the Knights are in a high position, but there is an entire potential. They are fraudulent in their high position. Their defense is not great. It is nowhere near the top 8. It's not nowhere near the top 8, but it's not in the top 8. And their attack is good, but also, has its moments. But their attack is really, really good. So their attack is saving them, but their this right now, and I said this last week, the Knights, as we currently speak, are a better rostered Titans 2021. A better rostered Titans 2021, which is who we were under Justin Holbrook. So that's why you are in a higher position than where the Titans finished in 2021 in 8th position. But I promise you it's the same thing. We're seeing the exact same thing between the two teams. Third tackle out to 15. 10 minutes to go the first half here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And Toby Couchman is going to knock the ball on. So it will be Tigers' ball. Sorry, man. I'm being a biased baby. Bailey, you're completely sweet. No one's upset at you. And have had too many beers and think we were a good team. We started to get ahead of ourselves and too confident to make errors. Correct. There's no problem with you defending your team here, man. I'm just explaining to you why, if you take off those bias glasses, that you can see exactly that they do have a little bit of fraudulence about them. I don't think that any Knights fan expects to win the competition this year. I don't think that any Knights fan genuinely believes this team is going to win a comp. But they are in 5th position. I think that it's crazy that they're in 5th position, but I do think that they deserve the old fraud alert for struggling to get past the Tigers in probably the worst game of the season last week, and then also struggling to get past the Dragons, who have won 1 game all season. So that's why they're on fraud alert. That doesn't mean that they are awful. It just means that they're in a high position and there is a potential case to be made that it is a bit of a falsity in terms of their position. But also, outside of the top 3 teams, nobody is really setting the comp alight this year. Tigers, left-hand wing, and Makasini's at the 35 on fit tackle. Shakes, if the Knights weren't being scammed by the bunker, they'd be in first right now. Yeah, first on the scam list. I don't know what you're talking about. That'll be, I think, a knock-on here from the Tigers. Oh, he's offloaded the ball. It's actually knocked back, they've said. Do knock-ons not exist anymore? Since when do they not call that a knock-on? Dragons will get this ball here at the 13 on first tackle. Just on the human session. Are we still able to pay to time people out? You can do what you want, man. If you do it, like, we'll do it. You guys get the decision. As we said yesterday, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. We'll do it. Lee Belton says 1913 New Zealand leading France in the Rugby Union. Well, there you go. Everyone on the top 4 are suspect. I would say everyone outside the top 3 are suspect. The Roosters are definitely still fraud alert. I'm interested now, just another human, to see who... Because we saw Tigerhood yesterday. He got scared. He wanted to time out Brenton, but he got scared from doing it. I would have timed him out. We would have done it to Brenton. And Brenton would have understood. But he got scared. So first tackle now. Tigerhood, I'm looking at you. So first tackle now for the Tigers, and they're going to be at the 30. Please time me out. I'm sick of watching this team. Mitchell is a Tigers fan, for those who don't know. Third tackle here for the Tigers, and they're going to get this ball to the 35. Tigerhood spoke a big game, but they couldn't do it. Fourth tackle now. I think it is more of a 10-minute. I think it is a 10-minute kind of go, though. I think that's how we'll do it. If people do actually decide to do it, it will be a 10-minute. Fifth tackle now at the 45. And Kotowi's out. Jock Madden whips that ball high up into the air. And easy one there for Gutho at the 20. I'll do it for free. Just say the word. No, you won't. No, you will not. Tigerhood is a Warriors fan, Nikhil, just like you. Second tackle now at the 25. 6.5 minutes to go the first half. But ultimately, everybody is a Titans fan. So they are. You guys are all just second. You've got your second teams that you support as well. Third tackle at 35. Jacob Little. He's on much earlier this week. Good to see. Fourth tackle here at the 40. A lot of the time, you don't see Jacob Little come on to the second half. And they'll be taken down now at the 50 on fifth tackle. And they get it across to Daniel Atkinson, and Atkinson's going to whack this ball down into the corner. And that's going to be allowed to bounce over. Oh, wow, that's going to sit up in the in-goal. Oh, that is so unlucky there for Stafford Toa. He's going to get taken back into the in-goal here, 100%. 100%. That is brilliant stuff there from the Dragons. That kick is so unlucky for the Tigers that it bounces up perfectly inside the in-goal, and now it's going to be a dropout. 5.5 to go here. 5.5 to go. Well, that's a really good kick, though. It will sit up right inside the end goal. My brain just clocked off there. This half is dragged. Yeah, but what did you expect from this game? What did you expect? This game was always going to drag a bit. 5 minutes to go here the first half. Clint Gutherson with the ball. First tackle. Dragons could take the lead right now. Josh Kerr, he's going to be 10 metres out. Second tackle. Always be worried about that second half for the Dragons. A try here would be beautiful because that second half is not usually good for you at all. Third tackle at the 5. 4 minutes, 55 to go. Jacob Little. He goes short. And Halangahu, he'll be 4 metres out from the line on fourth tackle. And quick passing. That's going to hit the grass. Setu 2 gets it back at the 20. Oh my gosh, they've lost so many metres. They've lost so many metres here. It moves out to the left and... Oh, close to a high tackle, but it'll be 18 metres out. Fifth tackle. I really feel like Nachos right now. That's what I feel like. Nachos. Daniel Atkinson kicks it through. Way too hard. I tell you what, Daniel Atkinson, his biggest problem for the most part of this year has been that his kicks are so hard and they go over the dead ball line every single week. I don't know if that was him who kicked that ball perfectly for it to sit up just in bounds before, but that kick was awful, and his previous kicks throughout the year have been pretty awful. Drag on a bit. It's definitely been dragging on a little bit. Second tackle at the 45. Neither team can attack, really. Who just went up with a hamstring problem? Tyrell Sloan has gone off with a hammy problem, guys. Tyrell Sloan is off with a hammy. God bless him. 4 tackle for Alex Twell. He'll be at the 40. Do we get a team taking the lead here? It's been a super slow half attacking-wise. And Adam Dewey. He'll be at the 35. He gets away. 25. Jock Madden. Is that knocked on here for the Dragons? It is. So it's going to be a 7 tackle set coming up here for... Oh, wow. They said didn't touch the Dragons. So it's actually still 5th tackle, is it? No, there's the 6 again call. Yep, 0 tackle. Now first, and they're 10 metres out. Their attack has been dribbled, though, so I wouldn't guarantee it. Multis are all dead in the water. They go out to the left. Tigers hits the grass. Muccassini down at the 8 on 2nd tackle now. Neither team can defend either. I think the Dragons have been actually, decent enough defensively today. Tigers have shown a little bit of scramble, but you're right. But the attack is ultimately the emphasis here for both these teams in regards to a negative. 3rd tackle now 10 metres away. They go to the left to Jareem Buller. Jareem Buller taken down to the 5 on 4 tackle. Yeah, don't know about Tyrell Sloan being a future New South Wales winger, Jake, but you keep dreaming, son. Keep on dreaming, son. Alex Seyfarth, he'll be 5 metres away from the line, 5th tackle. What is this attack, Wes? What is this attack at Apisai Kotoi Sao? Jock Madden, Adam Dewey. That's forward pass by about 34 years. That pass forward might have gone forward to Kazakhstan itself. It might have just landed in Astana. It may have just landed in Astana, Kazakhstan, that pass. That was how forward that was. So it'll be Dragons ball here at the 10. Way too forward, bro. Like, it's a good intention pass, but jeez, it was a bad pass. And now Damien Cook will bring this ball to the 25 on 2nd tackle. Shame, great bullet pass that. It was an awful bullet pass because it went forward. What do you mean? It wasn't even close. How can you say great bullet pass when it went forward by 3 to 5 metres? They go out. Daniel Atkinson, quick passing. Set to 2. Gets the offload away. Daniel Atkinson is away. Daniel Atkinson's away. Oh, float the ball on the inside. You had Dylan Egan. Oh, that's a 6 again, surely. Yep, 6 again for the Dragons. And Jacob Little now. He's going to be at the 30 on 1st tackle. Saw nothing. Beautiful pass. Yeah, you saw nothing, all right. You saw nothing, all right, if you thought it was a beautiful pass. 2nd tackle now at the 15. Dragons, they're going to get the last attacking opportunity of the half here. Jacob Little to Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan underneath, and the Dragons are 3 metres away. 3rd tackle. Jacob Little at the back here to Kyle Flanagan, then off to Daniel Atkinson. Atkinson steps back. He's going to run it himself to the 5 on 4 tackle. 40 seconds left. And that's going to be a penalty here. Take the 2. Come on, Nath J. Take the 2, son. Come on, Dragons. Take the 2. Come on, Dragons. Take the 2. They're going to win the half time. They're going to win the first half here, the Dragons. They're going to win the first half. It's like, that's one of Gary's favourite men who sings, come on, England. Come on, England. 3 Lions roar. England known for their chants. This guy, a massive chanter. Come on, England. Come on, England. 3 Lions roar. English fans, that guy represents you. He is your representation. It says, please, can we just bring on September already? It's pretty much happening right in front of you, mate. Take the 2, you Cats. They're taking the 2. The Cats are taking the 2, in fact. They are. They're taking it. They are taking it. And the Dragons will get the kick. And they win the first half. They win the first half, the old St George Illawarra Dragons. They're on top. And they're rocking and rolling. Hey, Tigers, you need to win this game, bro. Tigers, if you don't win this game, I just don't see a world you make the top 8, man. I would say the Dragons were the better team in the first half too. Like, neither team was great. But at the very least, no, I wouldn't even say that. I'd say this is still 50-50 here. Nobody's really taken a lead overall in terms of like, yeah, I wouldn't say there's not really been overall a significantly better team here. But gee whiz, Tigers, what we doing? What we doing here? So it's halftime, guys. Let's go through the halftime stats. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here. We've got Sharks versus the Broncos right after this one. And the Tigers are so back, Dingo. The Tigers are so back. But the Dragons 6, the Tigers 4, and this is at Cogra. The try scorer for the Dragons is Tyrell Sloan. Missed a conversion, but they got the penalty through Val Holmes in the 40th minute, and Gutho was binned in the second minute of this game. Tigers 4, Adam Dewey with a try, missed the conversion, and that is all she wrote. We then go to the possession, and it's 54% possession to the Tigers, 46%, no, sorry, it's changed, 52% possession to the Tigers, 48% possession to the Dragons. So very, very equal there. Slightly an advantage to the Tigers, though. Time of possession, 25 minutes to the threshold. As per usual, with this modern game, we are getting a lot of time of possession. 15 minutes and 8 seconds for the Tigers. 14 minutes and 38 seconds for the Dragons. That is 29 minutes. That is essentially 29.46. 29.46 or something like that in terms of... Or 29.45 is how many minutes we've seen of time possession out of 40 total minutes. That's very, very good. Very, very healthy. Completion rate, you're looking for 80% here. Well, the Tigers have got 84%, 16 from 19. They're very, very happy with that one. Dragons are at 71%. Not good enough. That is well below the completion rate that you need. 15 from 21 at 71% completion rate is not good enough. We then go to the runs. 84 runs for 790 metres. That is the St George Illawarra Dragons. That's actually not too bad. It's 50 run meters off of the 10 meters an average per run that you're looking for. You're not really too upset about that, to be fair. I wouldn't be too upset about that. That's pretty okay for the amount of runs that you had. Like, with all due respect, it's nowhere near the 1,000 mark that you're looking for, but still, 50 behind isn't too shabby. The Tigers, on the other hand, they're at 99 runs for 955 meters, so they're 35 metres behind the 10 metres an average per run, so they definitely are winning the run metre battle. They've got the extra 15 runs. You can't give the Dragons the 10 metres an average per run for the 15 extra runs to make it 150. You'd probably give them about maybe 110 or so. It's now 100 for 964 for the Tigers, so they're 36 metres behind the 10 metres an average per run. If you gave the extra 16 runs to the Dragons, they're probably going to be situated around the 910, 920 mark, which would still be 50, 40 below where the Tigers are. Post-contact meters, well, if you ever hit 300 in post-contact meters in the first half, you know it's a success. The Dragons at 266. It's not awful, but it's nowhere close to the 363 there for the Tigers. And if you gave the Dragons the same amount of runs, they would have gotten above it, but that doesn't matter. The Tigers at 363 is very, very good. That is very, very good there, and they are demolishing by over about 100 meters, just under 100 meters, 97 meters on the post-contact is what the Tigers win this game by. So you're looking at a better completion rate. You're looking at more runs, more possession, more run meters, better run meters, and also more post-contact meters. Oh my gosh, we're going to skip across here to the average set distance. 25 meters and below is pathetic to turn the stream off. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus is essentially perfect. The Dragons are at 38.12. So that's doing the job. They're just moving and grooving in this game. It's just been normal. Hey, well, Tigers, they're 50.77. 12 extra meters for the Tigers on every set right now. They are in the perfect category. So, again, they've got more possession. They've got more run meters. They've got better run meters. They've got more post-contact meters. They've got now an average set distance of 51.19, so they've even upgraded even more. They've got more everything, completion rate, and yet they're losing by 2 points here. And it shows to you the Dragons' defense is pretty decent, but it also shows to you that the Tigers' attack is absolutely awful. It shows you they're not getting anything going here in the Dragons. They are holding out pretty resiliently right now, but the Tigers haven't really thrown anything at them in terms of like in the attack in 20. The Tigers are clearly getting them into the attack in 20. The Tigers are getting them there. The forwards are putting them in, but they're not doing anything with it. The line breaks 3-1 to the Dragons, so the Dragons are finding the holes in the Tigers' defense, and it's 15 to 8 tackle breaks to the Dragons. 15 to 8 tackle breaks to the Dragons. That's a big, big marker there. Now, average play the ball speed. Yikes. 3.19 seconds and below is extremely fast. 3.2 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. And 3.8 and above is extremely slow. The Dragons are at 3.44 seconds. This is average. It's a normal speed. The Tigers are at 3.8 seconds. That's really slow. So they're making all these run meters and they're making all these big plays in terms of getting to the attack in 20, but their play the ball speed is extremely slow. Extremely slow at 3.8. You go to the offloads, 5-2 to the Dragons. It's getting up there for the Dragons, but nothing too crazy. 2 is quite low for the Tigers. Forced dropouts is 1-0 against the Dragons. Kick defusal is 45% for the Dragons, 67% for the Tigers. Oh, yeah, no, this is a good defensive game from the Drags. No, again, it's a bad attacking game from the Tigers, but this is a good defensive game for the Dragons too. Effective tackle percentage. 85% and below is awful. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker, and 90% and above is basically perfect. Well, the Tigers are at 88.66% here, so that is doing the job. It's okay. It's fine. It's just doing what they need to do. 172 tackles made is right in the middle of the average of 160 to 180. Missed tackles is 15. So 15 to 17 is the average. They're on the average there for missed tackles, but it's not fantastic, but it's also not awful. And the ineffective tackles is 7, which is on the average of 5 to 7 for the Tigers. So 22 bad tackles with an average tackles made marker and 172. 88.66 is just completely, doing the job. But then the Dragons are at 95.19%. You can't really get a better defensive half than that. And the only reason they conceded was because they went down the man because Guthrie got himself sin binned. This is amazing. 95.19% is absolutely spectacular. And you never expect that from a team like the Dragons. 198 tackles made is 18 more tackles made than the average of 160 to 180. The missed tackles is 8. That's 7 missed tackles below the average of 15 to 17. So they've got more tackles made than the average by a whopping 18. But they've got 7 less missed tackles. 7 less missed tackles than the average. And then the 2 ineffective tackles is also 3 less than the average of 5 to 7. They've had a grand total of 10 bad tackles across the entirety of the 40 minutes there, with a whopping 198 tackles made. You compare it with the Tigers, who have made 23 less tackles. They've missed 7 more tackles, and they have had 5 more ineffective tackles. Now, the Dragons are actually defending quite well here. So whilst people are going to say the Tigers' attack has been dribbled, and look, it has, you have to respect the Dragons are doing exactly what they need to do in terms of their defense. Negative play, well, this isn't a surprise. 3 and below is really good. 4 to 6 is average, and 7 above is awful. Dragons with 8, that is awful. Tigers with 7, that is awful. Both these teams are in the awful category. Both of these teams are in the awful category right now. But that's not a surprise. Penalties conceded, 5 against the Tigers is high. 2 against the Dragons is getting high. Ruck infringements 2-2. Inside 10 metres 1-0 Dragons. On reports 1-0 Tigers. And then 1 sin bin for the Dragons. Overall, Dragons, if you defend like this going into the second half, you probably win this game. If you can just hold the ball. It really is coming down to that. If you can hold the ball, you probably go on to win this game here, St George. But you're on 71% completion rate, and that's the reason why you're losing this, because it's now 100 runs for 100. Hold on. It's now 100 runs for 969 run meters, compared to 90 runs for 839 run meters. Now they're slightly behind, but you probably put the Dragons at roughly about the 920. So yeah, they're only about 40, 50 run meters behind. So I'm telling you, if you held the ball, you're probably going to win this game, which should be massive for you. You're still going to be in last. You still probably do come last this year. But you need to give yourselves a chance. And Tigers, where's your desperation? Because if you lose this game, your top 8 is in the absolute shithouse, not the penthouse. In the absolute shithouse, not the penthouse. So we'll see how this second half goes. But Tigers, you got to wake up here, sunshine. You got to wake up here, sunshine. Just another human says Val needs to make all of his kicks, and they have a shot, I reckon. Yeah, I would agree with that. Both these teams are equal. Well, no. Let's slow down on that one. I wouldn't say that both these teams are equal, but I would say the Tigers should have done more with what they had, because if the Dragons can hold the ball, I'm sure they'll do more with what they get. And they're already the ones leading. Tigers and Dragons are the same caliber of shit. Wrong. Unfortunately, I can't agree with that one. The Tigers are not that low. They have, and sorry, Dragons fans, but I know you know what I'm saying. The Tigers are unfortunately falling back down into a level that they would have dreaded all year. They are falling back down into a level of more understanding of their expectations. And I do think this is an organisational thing, but realistically, they just don't have the depth. They don't have the depth of this club. They don't have the depth. Justin the Human says, Tigers look underwhelming so far. They've looked underwhelming for weeks, mate. This is what we're saying. The Dragons have been looking better over these last 4 weeks, whilst the Tigers have been looking pretty awful over these last 4 weeks. And they were lucky to get a win over the Titans 3 weeks ago. But they're on a negative slide, whilst the Dragons aren't necessarily on a upwards rise, but they're on a improved rise of competing in games. For example, the loss last week where they lost 24-16 to the Raiders was very, very close. The Knights lost 22-20, extremely close. They were leading at halftime against the Sharks, and the Sharks came through to dominate them in the second half, 34-12, and they obviously beat the Broncos 30-26, and then they had 2 not humiliations against the Panthers and the Warriors. So it's been improved from them. The issue, though, is that the Dragons have actually quite consistently been here and led at halftime over these last few weeks, or been at least in the competition, in the competitive nature of the game and in the picture, but they do fall away in that last 20. So Dragons need to score next year, and they need to find a way to go on with it, because if the Tigers score next, I think the Tigers run away with it. I would say Sloan is out for the rest of the game, Captain Dipshit, because they were talking about him having a hammy issue. Hospital says Tigers need a spark to score, so I still give credit to the efforts done by the Tigers. Well, you can give a credit to the Tigers, but man, like at the end of the day, they're losing to last right now when they're in a desperate plea to make the top 8. The Tigers, respectfully speaking, have not made the top 8 since 2011. That was 15 years away. 15 years ago was the last time that the West Tigers made the top 8. And we're adding in Perth Bears next year, and then we're adding in Papua New Guinea the next year after that, and then we're adding in the South Island New Zealand team within 2 years of that happening. So it's getting further and further away here from the Tigers being able to put themselves finally into the top 8. Now, it's very difficult to adjust culture. I know that with Titans, it's very difficult to change your team around and put yourselves into a better position, but, yikes. It truly is a yikes situation, because this Tigers team right now is showing they don't have the depth. In my opinion, only games 130-26 should count, and teams that beat Penrith by 1, so we coming second, Titans first. Yeah, I'll agree with it. Back it in. Well, Titans are first anyway, to be fair. Dragons have had some decent second halves. That is just not true. Brenton, what? The Dragons are the worst second half team in the competition. What? What are you talking about? The Dragons, their second halves are awful, man. Gary says, I was at Wimbledon last night. The police arrested 2 drunk chaps. One was eating a firework and the other drinking car battery acid. What the hell did I just read? Oh, okay, it's a joke. It's a dad joke. I heard they charged one, let the other one off. You're a muppet. Jeremy says, Sloan always good for one try. Don't know why he isn't a staple on the team. Sloan is injured right now. The Dingo says, Drags have had a few halftime leads recently and have thrown them away, so hard to say they'll back it up in the second half. Tigers are putrid, though. Just a yucky game. Awful game. Tigers, it's not as bad as Knights game last week. Tigers Knights was far worse than this. Far worse than this. Far worse. My multi is under 45. Val Holmes, 6 points, set to 2 try, paying $5. You win $5 if it comes off? Sloan is still young. I think he shows promise. Okay, Jeremy, but what are we talking about Sloan for? He's injured right now. He's got a hamstring injury, mate. Why are we talking about Tyrell Sloan right now? No, he would not be picking for Australia, coach. But anyway, the game has started here for the second half. Obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. The Tigers are going to bring this ball here to the 20 on first tackle. And they're going to need to show a lot more in the second half. Don't even mention last week's game, Mike, at PTSD. Just thinking about it. Well, I've got my own tier rankings of the worst games this year. I'm going to give it a definitive top 5. I'm going to go in first position, Knights Tigers last week. I'm going to put in second, Bulldogs versus Eels. I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to put in third, Titans versus Dragons. And then I'm going to put in fourth, Bulldogs versus Manly. And then I'm going to put... I'm going to put in fourth, Raiders versus Eels. And then in fifth, I'm going to put Bulldogs versus Manly. That, for mine, is my top 5 worst games of the season. In order. And now the Dragons of Val Holmes will bring this ball out here to the 35 on first tackle. Bringing joy. Mate, it's joy, all right. It's joy. What about that Roosters Sharks game? Oh, Kokomo, you spiced it up. That's a spiced one. That is a spicy one. Nah, it's not top 5. Quality-wise, like the errors were just gigantic. But no, the other 5 games are worse, bro. The other 5 games are unfortunately worse. And wow, good catch there from Little. Right-hand side of the Dragons. They'll be cut down to the 45 on the Tiger side of the field. 4th tackle. I feel like the Dogs would have had a lot of nominations for that category. Yeah, well, they've got 2 games in there. The Dogs, they're unwatchable, mate. They're unwatchable. 51-metre gain. Dragons whack this ball to the 10. 2 knocks it back. It's still Dragons ball here. Went backwards. Oh, I would have called that backwards, but he's going to claim it knock on, and it will be Tigers ball to 15. Steve says the words Sloan and amazing should never be used in the same sentence. It's an interesting hill to die on with Tyrell Sloan being amazing. I know Cosrips is the biggest... Cosrips is a Dragons fan here on the channel, and he is the biggest Tyrell Sloan hater that ever did Tyrell Sloan hate. He is the biggest Tyrell Sloan hater that ever did Tyrell Sloan hate. VSX says you're going to stream the Super League Magic weekend. So, no, I won't. I would love to stream Super League games, man, but it's just not an awful time for me. And I'm already doing the FIFA World Cup right now, and we're doing international football permanently and whatnot. It's just too difficult when I'm in this part of the world. Like, if I was in England, if I was in Europe, I would definitely do more Super League stuff and really encapsulate rugby league as a whole. But, like, it's the worst. It's just so bad. I'm currently in the middle of England and Australia time zone wise, and it's just even worse time zone wise for me here in Vietnam as we currently speak. The time zone's not too bad in Kazakhstan, but I couldn't be consistent about it, so there's no point me just doing any Super League games if I can't be consistent with it, so that's why we don't do it. Second tackle at the 33, and they go to the right hand side to Setu 2, and 2 is going to be now at the 43 on third tackle. I don't know if they said that Sloan is ruled out for the rest of the game, but I haven't seen him come back onto the field. That's a 4 pass. That's awful from St George. That's awful. Jacob Little will throw a 4 pass. That is an awful 4 pass right on halfway. 36 minutes to go here to game. Only a 2-pointer. At least it's close. At least it's close. Todd Smith, there's a HIA here for who? A Tigers player. Slowing these out for the rest of the game. So Sione Fainu will come out here for a HIA for the Tigers. He looks like he'll be fine, though. He does look like he'll be okay. HIA. Don't forget, guys, right after this, right after this, we will have the Sharkies taking on the Brisbane Broncos up there at Suncorp Stadium. Sharks, a must-win for them. They've got to keep themselves cleanly in that top 8. With the Rabbitohs losing, they can go above them too, and they can actually put themselves into 5th position above the Knights with a win tonight against the Bronx. Sharks, don't do it. You piss me off too much in regards to being scammed. Don't do it. 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 Don't do it, son. 4th tackle now for the Tigers, and they will get this ball to the 18. And Apisai Kotowai Sau is going to go to the right-hand side to Dewey. Then off to Dream Buller. And they'll be 13 metres away, 5th tackle. R123 says, what country are you in? I'm currently in Vietnam. Da Nang, Vietnam. But I'm in Kazakhstan in 2 weeks' time. Or less than 2 weeks' time now. That's going to be a knock-on here from the Dragons, I think. I think this is a knock on Dragons. Yep, it is. Knock on from St George, and it will be Tigers getting this ball back at the 10. Good pressure there from Terrell Skelton. You've got to turn this into something. Turn this into something. Sharks Broncos, another potential stinker. Absolutely, but I also have a decent little bit of confidence that the Sharks will win that game well. But that is also what the Sharks do. I think that game could actually be quite exciting. To reside in Australia mainly. I haven't been in Australia since February last year. I'll be back in Australia in Sydney in November for a wedding. But I haven't been back home since February of last year. No idea when I'll be in London, Gary, but at some point I'll get there. You'll obviously know about it. First tackle now. 9 metres away from the line. I'm not going to a Tottenham game with you. I refuse. You will not ever see me wearing a Tottenham scarf or a Tottenham shirt, Gary. I won't be doing it. Second tackle here at the 15. They give it across here to Jock Madden. Jock Madden to Adam Dewey. Dewey across to Mukassini. Oh my gosh, he got so close. Third tackle, 2 minutes away from the line. And Stafford Toa whips it back to Dewey. That was probably the first bit of excitement we saw from this Tigers attack in a very long time. Fourth tackle now. That's going to be Cottery Sow, Terrell May. He's just going to run this ball to the 5 on fifth tackle. And Cottery Sow. He kicks this ball through. Awkward one there for the Dragons. It's just going to be a drop out here. Give me 1 second here, guys. Just give me 1 second. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. It'll be 1 moment. All right, we're back. So it's going to be a dropout coming up here from the Dragons. The Dragons to the Tigers, but their attack has just been so lackluster to watch it today, the Tigers. Mitchell says, "Neil, you're a true New South Welshman. You can bite your tongue and you can shut your mouth. That's what you can do, calling me a New South Welshman. That's what you can do." Hey, by the way, Mitchell, how about less focusing on me going to Sydney and more focusing on the fact that you're losing to the Dragons right now? How about that one? You won't come for me. You want to try and say I'm a New South Welshman? That's what you get, son. Just remember what we're watching as we currently speak, Mitchell. The Tigers, a third tackle, 20 metres away from the line. Just like the the Tigers earning a fraud alert if they lose this. The Tigers aren't on the board, bro. Guys, you can't. How am I meant to put the Tigers on a fraud alert if they're not even on a board? They're not even on the ladder here. And how could I put the Tigers on a fraud alert if I can't even see them on the ladder here? Tigers will kick this ball through. It's going to be too deep. I think it's going to be put down the line here. They're going to check this. But I'm pretty certain he puts the ball down on the touchline. How the hell did the Tigers score 32 points against the Warriors? It's amazing. Pellet says low-scoring game. Very low-scoring game here. But there might be a try here, but I'm pretty certain he puts the ball on the dead ball line. It's very close. Tigers kick chase on side. I think Dewey kicked it though anyway, didn't he? Oh, this actually might be really close here. Oh! I think it's a try. I'm pretty certain that's a try. That's a great try from Adam Dewey. Adam Dewey has put that ball down right before the line. It's a try time. Well done. Wow, amazing there from Adam Dewey. Out of nowhere, the Tigers have scored. I think everyone thought that kick was going to be a little bit too big, but yeah, Adam Dewey with 2 tries in this game. That is an amazing try. It was Jock Madden with the kick. No, it was Dewey who kicked it himself. Dewey was the one who kicked it himself and comes from nowhere to score it. Adam Dewey has scored both tries for the Tigers here today, and they do lead 8 points to 6, and it's about to be 10 points to 6. Yeah, it just looks like it was a little bit too heavy, but he just keeps on chasing. He doesn't give up. And Damien Cook couldn't get there. Valentine Holmes couldn't get there quick enough. I don't know why Holmes is diving with his feet, though. Like, I don't understand. Why are you going in with your feet there? If you're diving like Adam Dewey's diving, obviously Dewey wanted it more than Val Holmes. Dewey wanted that ball and that try more than Val Holmes wanted to protect it. Because there's no way that a player should be diving with his feet at that. He's diving with his feet at it, Val Holmes. So strange. If you dive there with your hands, you knock that ball dead for sure. Jack says, great try to be fair. Their attack has looked dreadful from what I watched so far. Their attack has been absolutely pitiful. Yeah, it's been really, really bad. By the way, Brenton, why did you say before the Dragons have had some good second halves this year? Because they are the worst second half team in the comp. Why did you say that? It was Paul from Val. Yeah, it was Paul from Val. So, Jock Madden, he will make the kick. It is 10 points to 6 for the Tigers. With 30 minutes to go here at the game, folks, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and we'll be going straight into the Sharkies taking on the Broncos up there at Suncorp Stadium right on after. Jerry says, Val, shake my head, Adam should be in the Origin team. Thoughts? No, mate. Jack says, you're watching Wallabies Ireland in a couple of hours. Also, no, I'll be watching Sharkies Broncos. Appella says, watching in Kinbet Papua New Guinea. Say hi to your followers following your channel for NRL games. No, we love you, Appella. I always say this whenever we have a Papua New Guinean who jumps into the comments section. Like, I would really, I genuinely, I put a video out last year actually saying, like, I want to go to Papua New Guinea. You know, I know that a lot of there's a lot of negative thoughts in terms of safety and whatnot. I want to go myself because I believe the media is bullshit. I think that there is obviously got to keep your wits about you, but I want to go to Papua New Guinea. I want to witness the Papua New Guinea international game and also the Chiefs when they come in. And I have major love for Papua New Guinea, man. So over the next couple of years, maybe even next year, probably more so 2027, I would actually think about coming for like a month or two, maybe not 2 months, but maybe a month to Port Moresby to get around the local football there, local rugby league, and get around it. We've got some content coming out in BKR travel for Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan over the next, once I get there, and then probably from about the 25th of July. I'm actually going to be putting out a sporting vlog for the first time in a couple of years too, where we're going to the first versus second FC Kairat versus Orabasi game in Almaty, which will be cool. But no, I love Papua New Guinea, man. I want to get there and check it all out. So second tackle now for the Dragons. They're at the 20. I don't listen to the media dribble. And most people have figured this out about the FIFA World Cup this year. Dragons 6 again. They've figured out that America is actually a really cool country. It's a really cool country. But political and media shit just always ruin it. So that's why I want to get to Papua New Guinea regardless. Val Holmes, 900k a year. What a wanker. Sean says, oh, Guthrie gets rocked at the 50 on third tackle. From the eye test, I thought they might have been. No, they've been good in first. They've been better in first halves this year. High tackle, Dragons. Here's a chance. Here's a chance, Dragons. Here's a chance. Spammers be gone, Steve says. Yeah, I don't know why they're all finding, the spam channels are all finding this stream this time. Max OG get to the Tigers. Bronx just carving the cows up in the NRLW. You got a real problem over there with the two super teams, unfortunately. Yeah, well, that's why. Like, I could have streamed the Sharks game on Thursday, the opening game, but I can't stream NRLW consistently, so there's no point. So yeah, Tyrell Sloan is done with his hammy, by the way. I can't stream NRLW consistently because it's on during the NRL. So I'll stream the grand final and potentially the semi-finals if they're not on at the same time as the NRL, which I don't think they are. But it's just impossible to do both. It used to be able to, you could do it beforehand and then watch the NRL afterwards, but obviously with the more teams, it's impossible to do that now. Dragons here, 8 minutes away from the line. Second tackle, Jacob Little. He'll go across here to Kyle Flanagan. It was actually Atkinson. They get the ball to set to 2. Set to 2 pushes away from 1. Pushed away from 2. Alex Seyfarth just got absolutely manhandled there. Ball into the middle. What the Josh Kerr, bro. I did everything. I had to really seek into my soul to not swear just then. I had to dive deep into my soul to make sure that I didn't swear at Josh Kerr just then. That is so bad, bro. Third tackle of the Tigers at the 30. That is so bad from Josh Kerr. Fourth tackle here for the Tigers. They'll be at the 40. Wow. Gary says, England fans going to rodeos, baseball matches, and buying cowboy hats aside from drinking cities dry. Yeah, same thing with the Aussies and whatnot, and also same thing with a few of our similar countries. Vegas, we drink them dry during the NRL Vegas games, Australia and England. I'm really looking forward to Vegas next year with the Titans and sitting next to the English fans and whatnot, because I'll get amongst it with them. But it's been great to see. Like, I know the Aussies and the Scottish and the English all went to baseball games and were really, tearing it up. I think I think the Aussies took over Walmart or something like that and were chanting all throughout. I can't remember what nation it was actually, but it was one of our three. It wasn't Scottish. It might have been English. I think it was the Aussies, though. It's just been so good to see that people realise that if you listen to the media, you will hate countries. But if you go to the countries, you will love them. For example, I went to India last year. India has a really bad reputation. Dragons here are going to be at the 40 on fit tackle. India has an extremely bad reputation. Yes, there are a lot of problems with India. Some far, far big problems. However, you can also have an incredible time, and I loved it. Certain places. And penalty to the Dragons at the 20 because he's been tackled as he's kicking the ball here. So here's a good opportunity here for St George. Stafford Toa gives away the penalty. They've been so ill-disciplined today, the Tigers. So ill-disciplined today. Hold on. So ill-disciplined. Kai Kitten says, what's up with the ladder next to you? Titans at top? Yeah, this is the official ladder, man. Serious channel. Yeah, what's your question? So Dragons, yeah, the number of high tackles and then also that one. So Todd Smith's warning episode, Cottery South, is close to a bin here for the Tigers. Really ill-disciplined today. And he says, get Josh Kerr out of my club. Sunder says, we would drink them dry quicker if we didn't have to pay 30 AUD for a beer. You're exactly right, but it tells you that even at 30 AUD for a beer, they... oh my gosh, St. George. No, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to watch them anymore. I don't want to do it. You're 10 metres out first tackle and you're going to knock the ball on. I can't. Brother, Couchman, just get up and put the ball down, my man. Brother. So Tigers will get the ball here at the 10. Seb, we've got the Broncos at Suncorp Stadium taking on the Sharks right after this. Actually, funnily enough, could be a good game. Funnily enough, I know you're not going to think it. I know you're not. People aren't going to look at that game and say, oh yeah, it could be a belter. I actually feel like there could be a belter happening there. But with that being said, the Broncos are without Payne Haas and also Reece Walsh. Whilst the Sharks are probably without Adam Fennell-Blake and Britt Nakora. Oh, no, they're going to bring the ball back here for the Tigers. Oh my gosh, 67% completion rate for St. George. Brenton says the Great White Scammers. Seb, Great White Scammers. They're on show right after this against the Brisbane Broncos. How did my team lose to the Panthers last night, Brenton says? Because it's the Panthers. What? The Tigers are away here. The Tigers are away. Stafford Toa. Oh, he's thrown it to Clint Gutherson. Oh, dude, they were going to score a try, but then Stafford Toa throws the ball straight to Clint Gutherson as Dragons bought the 15 first tackle. Get around your P&G, Stephen. Jake says, I reckon Broncos will win. They're due for a win. Without Reece Walsh and Payne Haas, I don't know, mate. I don't know. They are due for a win. Who do they play next week? Because I'm pretty confident in the Sharks, but then again, the Sharks are the Great White Scammers for a reason. They are a scam. They are the definition of scam. So I'm still very cautious. Did you see the bin in the Titans women's game today? I wasn't able to watch the Titans women's game today. How'd it go? What was the result? Fit tackle now for the Dragons. The 45 on their own side of the field. And Jacob Little to Daniel Atkinson. Whips that ball down here to the 15. They play Penrith after the bye. Oh boy. But to really answer your question there, Braden, because you come in with some bangers yesterday, if the Rabbitohs had better attack and probably a little bit better defense, they might have won that game. We lost 34-10, pretty sure. Yikes. That's a big loss. Who did we play? I haven't been able to I'm not really keeping up with the women's game at the moment, man. It's too hard with the World Cup and the late night streaming schedule, plus Rugby League, NRL and all that. Oh, I lost 34-10 to the Roosters, yeah. But there were some very dubious calls, including incredibly soft sin bin. Yeah, but the Roosters and the Broncos, the monopoly. They're the monopoly of the NRLW, man. Tigers will be at the 25. It should be Broncos-Roosters grand final again this year. And that's a big reason why a lot of people are clicking off of the NRLW because of the monopoly that we're seeing. And, oh my gosh, is that a knock-on here from the Dragons? No, it's still fit tackle. It's knocked back from the Tigers. Tigers out of the right-hand side. Sunya Todorova kicks his ball through, and Dragons get it. Damien Cook, good pick up there, considering Todorova was coming through a lot of pressure. Dragons says they lose to us, which they will, and Panthers beat them. That will be 9 losses in a row for the defending premiers. I'm proud to be a part of that. With the Keanu Kenny special, so. But also, let's settle down in regards to if they lose to us, which they will. You are the Great White Scammers for a reason. If they lose, it just proves to any Sharks fan who still debates whether they should be on Scam or not. I actually have received a few Instagram messages recently saying, please take Sharks off of Scam. They shouldn't be there. Jacob Little, great run. Good offload. Ryan Couchman. Oh, he should have passed the ball too. They'll beat the 40 though on fit tackle. People messaging me saying, please take the Sharks off of Scam. I don't know why they're there. You know damn well why they are on Scam. You know damn well, son. Dragons will allow that to be easily caught by Stafford Toa, and they'll be at the penalty. Or 6 again. Should have been a 6 again. Who do you think win the NRL Grand Final? Panthers. Mitchell says, what is Cook doing on the wing? It was actually the centres, which is his prime position, just after New South Wales. Damien Cook's best position is centre. Again, just ask New South Wales. Full tackle at the 45. Dre says, we are scammers, but I'm channeling energy for an easy 13 plus tonight, but I can easily be humbled. Absolutely can easily be humbled. Fit tackle now. Yeah, no, you're right, Ibrahim. Titans. Gold Coast Titans are also a great shout. Very good shout. Probably the best shout possible. Adam Dewey whacks this one down to the 20. Oh, that's a penalty for sure. That's going to be a penalty against the Tigers for sure. No way. He's not competing for the ball there. He's completely taken him out before it's... Do the Dragons have a challenge? Bro, he's taken him out without even getting close to the ball. Like, how is that not a penalty against the Faletino Tavana? How can you not penalise the Tigers there? Do the Dragons have a challenge? Did they lose a challenge? Why would you not challenge that? Why would you not challenge this? This is a penalty every day of the week. I can't believe they haven't called it. 20 minutes to go here at the game, folks. Hit that like button and subscribe. Dragons, if you have a challenge right now, that's silly not to use that challenge. Second half errors, 6 for the Dragons, 1 for the Tigers. As I said in the first half, at half time, if the Dragons can win this game if they hold the ball, they're not holding the ball, but I do think they've been screwed there. AB's 34-32 France final score. There you go. So second tackle now for the Tigers. They're 5 metres away from the line. This is usually the nightmare period for the Dragons. They usually concede like an absolute steam train the last 20. So Tigers fans, you should be pretty hopeful right now. Third tackle here at the 4. And they'll go right-hand side to Adam Dewey, who has quite literally carried the Tigers in this game. 4th tackle, 5 metres away. They give it off to Dewey. Dewey to Terrell May. Terrell May at the back here, Josh Madden. What a waste of a run out there from Daniel Atkinson. And Tigers, we take it down to the 5. Luckily, they don't get punished for that really poor defense from Atkinson. 5th tackle now at the 5. Tigers across. Oh, they've lost the ball to knock on. The Dragons are going to get this ball back out to the 10. Jake says, Knights aren't beating the Dolphins, so I need the Sharks to lose. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that one. The Dolphins got a lot of players out, man. Well, the Dolphins have quite a few players out. So, no, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that one. The Knights do have a chance in that game. I think full strength on full strength, Dolphins win. But with their players out, the Knights have a sneaky little chance. It is also in Newcastle, I'm pretty certain, at McDonald's Jones Stadium. 6 again here for the Dragons at the 30. I'm just waiting for the knock on at this point, though. Mitchell says, South Sydney watched Cody Walker's masterclass last night and offered him another year of employment. Wonderful. No, they didn't. Have they actually given him an extension? I haven't seen this. Have they actually given him an extension? No way. Luciano Leilua is going to bring this ball here to the 50 on 3rd tackle. To be fair, I get it. Like, they don't really have a halves depth at all to not have Cody Walker stick around if they can keep him around. 4th tackle now, even though he's 36 years old. Oh, that's the problem with playing at home. Daniel Atkinson gets it to Matty Fiane, and Fiane's at the 24. Okay, need a good kick here, Dragons. 18 minutes to go. It's only a 4-point game. Set to 2 to Daniel Atkinson. Atkinson puts up a ball in a reasonable area. Not the greatest of kicks, but set to 2. Catches it. He will get the offload at the back, and then there's a knock-on from the Dragons. You can't ride it. You can ride it. Can't ride it. Only 71 points for Dewey. Come on to the coach. He's carried. Wow, he only got 71 points, but yeah, he scored 2 tries. That's interesting. Cody Walker forgets he is so good sometimes with his temper and frustration. If he keeps his composure, he is a really good half, even at his age of 36. But he doesn't keep his composure, and you can't change the 36-year-old in that way. It's not possible to change the attitude and the composure of a 36-year-old rugby league player. This is Cody Walker. It just is. So Natarova, third tackle now. He's going to be at the 23. Yep, they're shelling that Broncos Sharks game up next. Tigers now to the 35 on 4 tackle. 4 tackle. South Sydney are nowhere near a grand final right now, man. Next year, sure, but they're not a grand final team this year. And they'll kick this ball down to the corner. They're just going to slow it down or go out around the 12. That's fine. That's fine for the Tigers. I'm not too sure how to read your name out, man, so forgive me. But he says, why did Madden take the kick? I need Dewey to get 10-plus points for my multi. Maybe Dewey's got a little bit of issues right now. 10-plus points. So you've got the 8 points. Conway Sowers headed up the tunnel here. Oh, no. Beside Conway Sowers, a suspected torn pec. God bless him, bro. No way. The Tigers are going to get slapped by another significant injury there. Suspected torn pec for beside Conway Sowers. That is a massive loss. Shane says, yes, Cody's been offered a 1-year extension to the Bunnies. Look, I do get it. Like, jokes aside, I do get it. But it's just unfortunate that he can't contain himself. And is such a key to that Rabbitohs team. Left-hand side, they're away here, they're away to Val Holmes. Val Holmes can't get the ball to Clint Gutho, but they're at the 40 on 4 tackle. The Dragons, Carl Flanagan, off to Hamish Stewart. And Hamish Stewart's going to be at the 25 on 5th tackle now. All right, Gary, have a good one, mate. Good luck. I'll fight him tomorrow for my Manly. The left-hand side, quick passing over the sideline. This is the Dragons, unfortunately. We'll go over the sideline from Gutho. He's had a really poor game today, Gutho. Really, really poor. But 15 minutes to go here. The Dragons taking a few more risks, which is what you expect. They will be taking risks at this point, and I like that. But also, Gutho's had a really poor game today. Mitchell says, just give us the spoon now. Hey, listen, you'll take the 2 points if you can get it. But your points differential is only at minus 86 right now. So you are essentially... You're 1 win out of the top 8 right now, but you're really 2 wins out of the top 8. And obviously the Tigers just aren't playing that well at all. Imagine the Dragons somehow managed to make it to the finals. It's not mathematically possible. So 3rd tackle now. The Dragons are mathematically eliminated, mate. It's not possible. They would need to win out of their remaining games 12 more games. They need to win 12 games in a row. And they've got 1 bye. There's only 10 rounds to go inclusive of this game. So you need to win 12 out of your last 9. So the Dragons are mathematically eliminated. 5th tackle now for the Tigers at the 35. And they'll get this ball across now to Marcassini. And Marcassini is going to offload the ball back onto the inside for Jock Madden. Madden's going to knock the ball on. 0 tackle. Gutho could get away here. Oh, there was a little bit of an opening. That's going to be... Well, there's a knock on it from the Tigers back here anyway. Yeah, a 4 pass, whatever. So Dragons ball at the 20. Yeah, Buller been quiet. Buller has been quiet. He's had a couple of decent little runs, but overall he's been quiet, yeah. So Tigers, Dragons, only 4 points of difference. So as we said before the game, someone was asking if this could be a good game. And I said, well, it's not going to be a quality game, but it could definitely be a close game. Well, it is definitely a close game, but it definitely is also not a quality game. Shock Madden's had a shocker, unfortunately. Shock Madden's not been great. Well, look, realistically, the only Tiger who's had a really good game has been... Appy, not Appy. Well, Appy's not been too bad. Appy's actually been really good too. It's been Appy and also Adam Dewey, but now Appy is out of the game. They're the only 2 Tigers players that have really had a good game here. 4 tackle here at the 50. And they'll go short to Carl Flanagan. He'll be at the 40 on 5th tackle. Roosters need 11 to 20 points win for the West. They need to pick their game up. I don't know if that's going to be happening right now, man. The Dragons put this ball up to the 20. Set to 2, catches it, goes backwards. Still Dragons ball here. Gutho gets it on the inside. It's going to be Ryan Couchman offloads the ball. And Tigers will get it. And they'll offload the ball down to Sonia Turova. Turova to Bola. And Bola will be taken down to 22 on 1st tackle. And the Tigers now will be at the 25 on 2nd tackle. This is Lou, Sean, sister, and Dragons fan. This is bad doo-doo. This is bad doo-doo. This is bad shit house. Third tackle at the 25, but I'm still at 35. I'm still enjoying it for the fact that it's a close game. However, the quality is... Oh! Jock Madden for you, lads. Jock Madden, Sundo. Just as he said he had a shocker, he's knocked the ball on, and the Dragons will be 35 metres out with a chance to steal the game. Can they steal it here? That's a bad knock-on from Jock Madden. Yeah, he's had a really rough one here today. Yeah, this is what I said at half-time, Annie. If we stop with these errors, we can fix this. If the Dragons stop knocking the ball on every 2 seconds, they probably do win this. They probably just do win it. All right, Kyle Flanagan to Ryan Couchman. They're 30 metres away from the line. 11 and a half minutes to go here at the game. I'll get the error count after this set. First tackle. Chance here. Dragons set to 2, set to 2, set to 2, set to 2. Set to 2. Oh my gosh, he's 1 metre away from the line. Second tackle. Oh my gosh, the Dragons are here. Oh my gosh, the Dragons are here. 2 metres out. They give it off to Daniel Atkinson. They get it across. Numbers. Pass it left, bro. Numbers. Fella! It's try time for the Dragons. It's 10-10 with a kick to come. The Dragons have scored. It's 10-10 with a kick to come. Val Holmes has scored. And it's 10-10 here with a kick to come. 10 minutes to go here at the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. The Dragons, they have a chance to take the lead. Right damn well now. They have a chance to take it. They have a chance to take the lead. Can they get the job done? Can they do it? 10 minutes to go here, folks. Minutes to go. Tigers fans, close your eyes. Close your eyes and close your ears right now if you are a Tigers fan. Oh, I do have a Tigers fan that who's a really good mate of mine that I have to rip into because he rips into myself and another Titans fan of mine. We have this group chat. And you guys know if you watch my Tigers streams every week, every time they lose, I have to rip into him. It won't be for any of you Tigers fans. It's nothing to do with the Tigers itself. It's just to do with him. Right? So if they were to lose this game, I'm probably going to rip into him anyway, but but it's something that needs to be done if they were to lose this game. 9:45 to go here of the game. Val Holmes is a very, very big kick. Well, who was saying before that if he gets his kicks? Who was saying before if he gets his kicks, they win this game because this is a very important kick to take the lead 12-10. You can't schedule the Tigers and Dragons on premium Saturday night viewing. This is horrendous. This is one of the shithouse time slots. What are you talking about? This isn't the prime time slot. Val Holmes will make the kick. The big Val takes the lead for the Dragons. And it's 12-10 here with a kick to come. 12-10 with a kick to come. This isn't a primetime Saturday night slot. The next game is the primetime Saturday night slot between the Broncos and the Sharks, and that makes a lot of sense. This isn't a primetime. This is typically the 5:30 game, the middle game of the Saturday. Primetime slot to Thursday night, Friday night at 8 p.m, Saturday at 7:30, and Sunday at 4 p.m. 12:10 with the kick to come. No, 12:10 now. It's 12:10 now. The kick was made. It was 10-10 with the kick to come. Now it's 12-10. So the Dragons will get this ball. Carl Flanagan and the Dragons, Toby Couchman. You just got to hold the ball, man. That's all you got to do. You just got to hold the ball. I'd have rather watched Titans versus the Bye. Well, said they forfeited. Yeah, the Bye ended up forfeiting after the Titans were up 250-0 in the first 10 minutes and then 750-0 in the first 20 minutes. And then that's when they walked off the field because they were so embarrassed. So, yeah, we only got to watch 20 minutes of that, but it was exciting. Zane Harrison scored every single point out of that 750 points to the Titans in the first 20. Amazing stuff. The Dragons, they've been really good through the middle of the day. 4th tackle at the 45. I'm cashing out. Dewey needs another 10 points for a multi. The Dragons here, they've got the momentum as well. 5th tackle at the 38. They're still pushing here. Look at them. They want this. They really want this right now. 16-metre gain. Set to 2 coming through for the chase. Knocked back in for the Dragons. Kyle Flanagan. Oh, Ibrahim had a heart attack, but it will be 5th tackle, 3 minutes. Oh, it's 6 again, is it? It's 6 again. Set to 2. First tackle now 1 metre out. The Dragons can take it to a 2-score game right now. Go left. They've got numbers galore at left. Go left. Go left. Go left. Go left. Go left. Val Holmes. Val Holmes. Val Holmes. Holmes! It's 16-10 with the kick to come. 16-10 with the kick to come. The Dragons have scored again. The Dragons have scored again. Oh my gosh. I just messaged the group chat just saying, lol. That's it. Oh no. The Dragons are about to potentially take a 2-score lead with 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go here of this game. The Eels are not making finals, mate. Eels are the worst defensive team in the competition, man. 7.5 minutes to go in a game. I'm alright. Says Tigers are hopeless, but do have like 5 season-ending injuries to keep players. Bro, absolutely. Context-wise, the Tigers have lost a lot of injuries. The issue that the Tigers need to speak about is that they don't have any depth whatsoever. But also, this is what I spoke about in the preseason predictions video, right? When I spoke pre-year, everyone was really hyped the Tigers maybe making the top 8 and all this kind of jazz. But no one spoke about that last year. They came equal 4th last. They came 5th last because of points differential. But they came equal 4th last with the Rabbitohs. Now, last year, the Tigers had the least amount of injuries in the whole competition with like 60 collective games missed across the whole year. 60. It's not much. The Rabbitohs, who finished equal 4th last with them and actually finished a 4th last points differential, had 300 plus collective injuries missed. So they finished equal with the Rabbitohs. It's an 8-point lead. The Dragons lead 18 points to 10 with 6 minutes 40 to go here. So this is why I try to keep telling Tigers fans who keep saying that I'm a hater. It's not a hater. It is just observant in terms of you don't have the depth. And last year was actually more of a concern than you think because you still came 5th last, equal 4th last with a team that had 300 plus collective injuries and the most amount of injuries in the competition compared to the Rabbitohs who had, compared to yourself who had the least amount of injuries and you came down there. It was a positive because they avoided the spoon, but that was realistically the only positive that we actually saw last year, that they avoided the spoon because this has been coming. These problems are here. These problems are here. And that's going to be caught by the Dragons at the 40, first tackle. 6.5 to go here, the game. And second tackle now for the Dragons. They're going to get to the 50. Val Holmes is still an overpaid man. It's difficult to say that in this game. He's been very good here. Third tackle. The Dragons have still got all the momentum here. Amara says, yeah, Tigers are good with false hope, and us Tigers fans eat it up. Absolutely, you know. But the thing is that last year was a positive regardless because you avoided the spoon. But there is still a long way out of this recovery process. And knock on here for the Dragons. Tigers get the ball at the 30. There is still a long way out of this era of Tigers football, of this last 15 years where they haven't made the finals, and obviously the 3 wooden spoons in a row, and the early mid part here of 2020s. It's like, because there's been such a lack of success, Tigers fans, the smallest bit of positivity, they take it and run with it really, really far. And it's like there is positivity to look at. It's definitely just going to be a bad play the ball knock on. It's going to be an unsuccessful challenge here, but the Dragons get time to kick back. They're looking at how this ball rotates. Look, this is called a bad play the ball all the time. Oh, wow, they're going to say this is fine. This challenge successful. Wow, that's different. That's not really consistent, but sure. Jags just Titans got the spoon last year. Nope, that was the Newcastle Knights, mate. That was the Newcastle Knights because you lost to the Titans twice last year. 5 minutes 44 to go here, and Captain Challenge successful for the Dragons. 33 metres out from the Tigers line. Everything's coming up Millhouse and St George as we currently speak. But yeah, I feel like that's why I can't be a hate from Tigers fans, because they don't like to hear a neutral perspective on their club that isn't coming from bad intentions. Because I'm not here to circle, like, you're going to get a million content creators who are going to circle jerk the living shit out of your clubs. So it's going to be a penalty here to the Tigers for whatever. It's a penalty to the Tigers here inside the 10. They're going to challenge it. They're going to get the ball here, the Tigers, but they just want to get some time off. You're going to get a lot of content creators, a lot of people who circle jerk your club just because they want to make you feel amazing. But I'm here to be honest with my opinions, and I don't think that I'm harsh on the Tigers. I don't think I am. Yeah, Setu is going to push him. It's going to be a penalty for sure. Yeah, it's an unsuccessful challenge. Shane says, do you think Melbourne can still make the top 8? Yes. Tiger says, yeah, lucky I've won my last 3 multis. So where's been at 10%? Seb says, you deserve to lose 800 if you get Dewey to score 18 points, Muppet. Well, he scored 8 points today. He scored 2 tries today, Dewey, but just hasn't been on conversions. Hasn't been on conversions. So second tackle for the Tigers, 35 metres away here from their own line. And now they go to the right. Jareem Muller, he'll beat the 45. You score here, there's still a chance. I'm all right. Says, no, you've been realistic, which club fans are way too biased. You were true and honest with your own team, not being that successful. You see, with a non-biased view on all teams. Dude, as a Titans fan, I used to be biased as all hell. And, like, I still have my biased moments, but I will choose to look at the positive side more often than not. But I will also tell you the Titans are shithouse. Fit tackle now at the 40. Like, I'm going to still believe in what my club has to offer until that it proves that we are still the same team that's been the same team for years and years. Dragons get the ball here at the 30. But it's very easy for fans to fall into this just club-first mentality, and if anybody says anything negative, then, you know, rest in peace. Second tackle here at the 45. And then the first thing people always say is, but your club's shit, how can you talk about this other club? Well, my club is shit. That does not mean that I can't say that your club is also shit. I'm not even saying that about the Tigers, just about anyone in general. Third tackle. Enemy gambling advice for the next game. It's a difficult game, man. I could see a lot high scoring game though. Seb says don't bet. So the Dragons now 15 metres away. Fifth tackle. If they score here, it's definitely game over. It's probably game over anyway, but if they score here, it's definitely game over. They go out to the right to Daniel Atkinson. Kicks his ball through. Play that here. Dragons! Try time for the Dragons! Oh my gosh, they might win this game 13 plus. They might win this game 13 plus. Hold on. Tigers fans, this is not for you. This is for a friend of mine who gives me grief about the Titans all the time. Hi, sir. We are currently live right now, coming to you live from Kogarah Stadium in Sydney. Now, I don't know if you know this. Now, the Dragons are playing with the Tigers right now. Yes, the 17th place Dragons. The 17th place Dragons are taking on the Tigers right now, and they've only won 1 game all season. So I was fully expecting that we'd obviously see a Tigers blowout, right? Well, I didn't predict that. I said the Dragons could win it. Let's be all honest here. But just a quick question here. West Tigers, they're down 22-10. Is this is this actually golf that we're watching? Like, is it lowest score wins, or what actually is this? Because right now I'm a little bit confused because, again, the Tigers were favourites here because, they're as amazing as you say they are. So what does 22-10 mean? Surely it means that we're playing golf here. Thanks for your help, mate. Just really trying to... I'm talking to the people here on the stream, so I need to make sure that I'm covering the sport and just trying to figure out if it was golf or rugby league. Thanks for your help. There we go. Tigers fan realising they're 3 wooden spoons after being third first 5 rounds. What? Other Gold Coast Titans' last Dragons 13 plus win was against the Eels in June last year. Well, here we go. Can Val Holmes make it 13 plus here? Can he make it 13 plus? Val Holmes will... Bang! 14 points the difference. The Dragons are going to win their second game of the season here, folks. And the Tigers, your top 8 hopes, it's not looking spectacular. Not looking spectacular. Yeah, get around your Annie, get around your Nate, get around the Dragons fans here that are always tuning in. It's a tough year for you. But how good? Seb says, I do both to score over 50 points each next game. Good money. Oh, man. Josh King, he's not playing, but he might score too. Aspect says, yes, I'm having a wet dream. Didn't need to know that one, though, Aspects. No. Don't forget, 10 minutes time will be live for the Broncos versus the Sharks. All right, so the Tigers go short. The Tigers knock on. The Dragons get the ball to 30. Klaus says, am I awake? You are awake, Klaus. Slap yourself across the face and call your name Sally, because you are awake. Just another human says, Brenton, you were right about the Dragons' second half. Well, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was saying that the Dragons have been good in second halves this year, which is the complete opposite. But it's worked out that they've been good in this second half. Will you be streaming any football tomorrow? Yes, we'll be live for Canada versus Morocco tonight, which is a scary prospect for the Canadians. And we'll be live for France. The French playing. The French. He'll bite back, Shane. Yeah, he'll bite back, all right. So West Tigers next 5. Warriors, Bulldogs, Raiders, Eels. Raiders, Eels is nice, but Warriors next week is yikes. Yikes. No, it won't be pinning his comment there, Brenton, because it's not correct. You said the Dragons have been good in second halves this year, which is factually incorrect. If they were good in second halves this year, they wouldn't have coughed up a 20-16 lead to the Storm in round 2 in Wollongong. When they were 20-16 up with 20 minutes to go, they lost 46-20 with 20 minutes to go. Clippy Wooden said it's not over yet, boys. Oh, it's over. It's over. There's 47 seconds to go here, man. And that's going to be Tigers 4-15. Yeah, if only the Socceroos had Jai Gray dribbling. Exactly right. Oh, I'm spewing that was no try yesterday. That would have been so awesome, bro. That was such a good try. To grubber kick it purely off just grubbers from your own 43 all the way to the try line and score before, unfortunately, you see Muppet Man Cody Walker make a mistake. It's just amazing. Like 43, that's 57 meters he has grubbered the ball just by grubbering it. It's insane. Not yet, but yes, you're correct. 10 seconds to go here. Well, how about we come back to this in 7 seconds here? So Tigers at the 35. They go out to the left, and they'll be taken down at the 45. And Dragons, you are officially back in the winner's circle. You are officially back in the winner's circle with a 24-10 win over the West Tigers. Tigers, they're in a bit of a shambles right now. That negative trajectory for them and the positive trajectory for the Dragons has proven too much here. And the Dragons, unfortunately, they will still be in 17th position, but at least they've got 2 wins in their name right now. There's still a couple of wins behind the next spots down there. Whilst the Tigers, they will drop down into 12th position. They won't finish any lower this week, but the Raiders are on their heels. The Broncos or the Eels, they get a win here this week. It will be on their heels, and obviously the Titans win a comp. But there we go, guys. The Dragons win. We will see you in 7 minutes' time for the next game, which is the Sharks versus the Broncos. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Get around, you Dragons. See ya. Val Holmes' a machine. Val Holmes might be just an absolute machine.